know what it is. I'm gonna be clear.
What was he talking about? So, okay, just watch her doing shit. Fucking badass. Get some fucking. Shut up! Oh my god! Wait, shut up! Oh, some man rules, for God's sake. I'm talking to the lady. I don't care. Shut up! You had weapons? Badass. So fucking cool. Please shut up. Men's voices, rock hard abs, and a big cock. Giant cock. Don't ruin my fantasy. I know everything. Shut up! I'd marry her on a goddamn garbage heap. Oh, God. Fuck! Wait, oh my God, wait, hold on. She's not Jew. I have porn. Oh, I've been through fucking hell. I know. You evaded your piracy. Shut up! I don't care. I just want to see what kind of jeans you're wearing. People, what is this thing called sex? And I gotta try it. Sure, you were molested. You're probably. Gosh, man. Her doing shit. I feel like you're a little creeped out by me. Shut up! They're gingers. You're weak. They're fucking thing. I can't get to the gun. I just want to fucking suck a dick. You're Whoopi Goldberg. They're because I haven't had sex in years.
I'm sick of all these witches and warlocks. You're full of shit. Pumpkin possums. I'm sick of it.
You keep interrupting me.
And all of it's lying. Because you're lying. That's why. Oh, there's energy and oh, now we're done with Trump. You said he was the Messiah. You said he was invincible. I will not suffer your Q people after this. I knew what you were day one. I know what you are now. Witches and warlocks. You're full of shit. Pumpkin possums. I'm sick of it.
You keep interrupting me.
And all of it's lies. Because you're lying. That's why. Every goddamn thing out of your people's mouths.
You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me in a voice so sweet, I thought I heard the shuffle of angels. He called my name and my heart stood still. When he said, John, go do my will. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Throw you a rock, hide your hand, working in the dark against your fellow man. But as sure as God made black and white, what's done in the dark will be brought to the light. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him that God's gonna cut you down. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down.
Like a man, would you be as hard as you say you are?
I'm gonna go.
Run and go get your bodyguard. What you gonna do when she gets the band? Stand and fight like a man. Show him as hard as you say you are.
That's that backwards. Them niggas just gon' keep coming back, and that's when extortion happens. You struggle to get free. I know how this shit be. You give anything to live legitimately. But you can find if you do get in this industry, it's best to do business with me than against me.
What the hell? How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the COMICSGATE King Show. It is I, Ethan Van Sciver, 30-year veteran of the comic book industry, the most unthanked man in Hollywood. Great to have you with me here on Comic Artist Pro Secrets for, like I've said, the COMICSGATE King Show. We do this every single Monday. You're in the right spot. You are where you need to be. This is going to be very exciting. We're going to be paying attention to the chat today. We're going to be making love, sweet love to the chat. It's going to be fantastic. And I think you're going to enjoy it. I think you're going to enjoy this show, guys. FKA322 says, what's the topic of discussion? Gay swooper man? Swooper man? What in the world would make you say something like that? That is crazy. Swoop. Yes. Get ready, everybody. It's the COMICSGATE King Show. And we're together again. All of my friends are going to be here with us. Hell yeah. Oh, sucky nah. I'm reaching out to please you right away. Your smile must find the sun. You generate a feel that's on the one. Let's share the things you do. There's nothing more important than pleasing you. Let's go, everyone. I'm yours. You got me, baby. Swoop on it, baby. Work it. Swoop. I'm yours. We got it. We're going to swoop on it. It's funky, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob. How you doing, Rob Hunter?
I can barely hear you over that music.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Andy Smith.
What is up? The countdown to this weekend is on, my brother.
Yes, it is. This weekend, everybody. It's going to be fantastic. We got a lot to do. We got a lot to talk about. We'll get rid of that now. I love it, but, listen, we got work to do tonight. We got to get ourselves in the right frame of mind here. Rob, how you doing, man? What's going on?
I'm doing fantastic. Just working on Death Raider and working on some pages, some ink stuff. So it's good times.
What are you working on right now? Can I see?
Actually, I can't reach it, but I'm locked in.
Tethered to your
umbilical cord to my.
Hey, Rob,
my
check
desktop.
these things. These are cordless.
Oh, is that the new technology?
Yeah.
They come out, Rob. I mean, you can pull these out and then you can.
That's true, too.
It is
you can
true.
actually pull them out.
Pull them out. Try that. Adama says, "Hail Comicsgate Kings, chat and super in chief. VBS, rock on." Thank you, Adama. Busted Move Rob says Travis Perrick. Thank you very much, guys. Very cool. Very cool. J Bomba fan. I feel like I'm in a skating rink.
Oh, it's the 80s all over again.
Yeah, I don't know when Swoop came out. It sounds like it kind of 1982, maybe 1981. You're a little bit older than me. When I was in the skating rink, it was Michael Jackson's Thriller. I always feel like somebody's watching me. And I got
the only thing I can show.
Let me see what you got.
That's a new Star Riders cover.
What is this?
Oh, that's cool.
Star Riders. It's for Phenom Comics.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, I did a bunch of inking for them a few years ago, right after DC. So.
That's beautiful. I gotta say.
It's Scott McDaniel pencils, so Scott is amazing.
James Murphy says Andy looks charged up. How was the con with Frega, Andy?
Well, speaking of that, I was actually going to show a picture from it. So, real quick, if you want,
pull it up. So you guys did Heroes Con, correct?
Share the screen. There it is.
Yeah,
fantastic! It was Fraga, Billy Tucci. A lot of the chat came out. My pal Dennis and co-creator Cordrath, of course, was there. He'll be up in Garden State as well. And this was the old Saturday night cigar by the fountain outside. So.
Wow, man, look at that. That looks like fun. You got a lot of people there. Do I see Frega? Where's Frega?
He's all the way to the right with his cape.
No way. Look at his beard,
shirt.
Dude.
Oh, it's all gone now, though.
What?
He turned 50. He turned 50 today, and he said when he turned 50, all the shaving, it's gone.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you guys have fun? How was business?
Oh yeah, yeah. We went out to dinner, drinks and stuff. It was really a fun time. So really good time. So it was a warm up for this weekend. So.
Yeah, look at those sharp sons of bees, says James Murphy. Tim F says, let me guess, Malin and Shane will be late. Malin's up right now. I know that for a fact because he's arguing with Mike S. Miller on Twitter. Which is really fun. Oh, look, there's Tucci in there.
Yeah, Tucci's there. And
on.
Broke out the Hawaiian shirts.
There's Andy in the middle.
Tooch would have worn a Hawaiian shirt, but a couple buttons busted out the front of it. So I don't know if that's because maybe he's getting a little out there, expanding. I don't know.
Muscular. He's probably
right. That's what I meant.
Bench. Yeah, a lot of bench.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. This weekend, I'm trying to get rid of this, and I can't get rid of it. Hold on, remove. There we go. This weekend we've got New Jersey Comic Fest, which is or Garden State Comic Fest, as it is. So Andy's going to be there at that. It's going to be nice. Just about everybody in that photo is going to be at that convention, plus others. Graham Nolan's going to be there. Yeah, I keep thinking Aaron Lepresti's going to be there, but I guess he's not. We are going to get Frega. We are going to get Andy. We're going to get Billy Tucci. Anyone else?
No, I think that's it. Graham, you, me, Billy, Dan. No, that's it. Yeah, and Dan's drinking again. So,
Dan is drinking again. Was he not drinking?
That was. Oh, he hasn't had a drink in 7 months, I think.
Does that mean mattresses out the motel window, or?
No, it means he started today. He's out. It's his birthday today, so he's out to dinner.
Okay, the way you said it, Dan's drinking again. Like, get ready.
No.
Convention hotel.
Yeah, it's gonna be trouble. Hold on. Let's let our friend in here, and then we'll move on to this bit of news here.
I've seen horrors that you've seen.
Please, let's not talk about that again. I can't take it.
It's impossible through words to describe what is necessary to those who do not know what horror means. And you must make a friend of horror.
No.
Horror and moral terror are your friends. If they are not, then they are truly enemies.
Okay. I take responsibility where I feel like, you know, I have harmed anyone, but I haven't harmed anyone at all. Hello. Oh, I didn't let you in.
Joke's on me. Oh.
Hey, how you doing? What's going on?
Good. Looks like you had quite a Father's Day there. A little adventure in New Jersey.
Yeah. We went to some creepy theme park, which had been there since. I didn't realize that they opened that park in 1955, called Storybook Land. And I'm telling you, like, if it wasn't maintained, like, it was immaculately maintained. If it was dirty, if it was old and run down, that would be a creepy place, and a good setting for like Left 4 Dead 3 or something like that. You know,
or Halloween.
Or Halloween.
Now, is that the first time you've gone there?
Yeah, it's Andrea is always saying, "Let's go to Storybook Land," and she shows me pictures, and I go, "Let's not." But I committed to it. Yeah, I committed to taking Ava there, so she was going to hold me to it. And that's what we did. It was fun, Aaron. I had a good time on Father's Day being a father. Like, sometimes you like my attitude was, Andrew's like, "What do you want to do for Father's Day?" And I immediately thought about a bunch of things that could be done for and to me, you know, for Father's Day. And then I thought, how about if instead I just enjoy being a father by focusing on my family, my kids, taking them out for a good time, and just, you know, feeling pride in the fact that you know, they're out there, they're growing and enjoying themselves. So that was my Father's Day. No alcohol, none. Oh. You know, unlike you degenerates.
That's right. I was bombed out of my mind.
Well, as always,
I was. Couple
You were at Heroes Con, though, weren't you, Andy?
Yes, he was at Heroes Con.
I wasn't bombed out of my mind, but I was drinking.
It was, yeah. And Frega is drinking again, apparently, too. Ladies and gentlemen, rub those lamps at home, because here she is.
Hi. Great intro. Hey.
Hello. Is it 10 p.m. already?
Yes.
Because that's when you usually show up. Did we just time jump?
No, I'm trying. I'm making an effort to move things around. I'll be here early. No, I do have to leave earlier today, but you know, hello everybody. I know. I'm sorry. Nina invited me to a thing, but I had to be here for Kings. How is everybody? How was your Father's Day weekend?
It was good. Thank you.
Great.
Wonderful.
Actually, really good. Thank you.
Yes.
You know who also had a good weekend? Anna, that Star Wars girl, finally engaged.
Oh, is she really?
Make sure to say congrats.
Wow.
Nice.
This weekend, I believe Chrissy Mayer got married, and a lot of comic skaters were invited to go enjoy her wedding, to go share that with her. And Cecil dressed up immaculately. People saw his face, which is still haunting.
Still a little weird.
Yeah, I didn't know he was hairless. I was a little disappointed. I figured maybe he was hiding some hair under the ball cap that he always, or that stocking cap he always wears, but apparently not.
Yeah, he basically, Cecil without his mask, he looks like a stick of band roll-on with a beard and glasses. And people were shocked and horrified. You try to calm them down. I told them that the images that they saw, it was just AI art that somebody had put together. It wasn't really Cecil. But I think everybody deep down knew the truth. And Cecil has recommitted to covering half of his face, which I think is what's best for everybody. But
yeah,
the great thing
kind of reminded me. I'm sorry, it reminded me of that old thing that we had as kids where you move the hair around with the pencil. It was a magnet.
Oh yeah.
That guy. Yeah. You just put it all at his bottom here because his hair's so dark on his face.
Yeah, that's Cecil that looks like that.
Yeah,
Cecil. It's not me.
That's why I
call
said
it Cecil.
Yeah.
When I dyed my beard, Andy, people were posting that about me. You understand? And so you look like that guy. Tuna Watch Studio says Peaches dumped Cecil after he saw his real face. Thank you. And that led to Anna getting engaged. So I think that's the way to do it. So congratulations to Chrissy Mayer. And then because Anna took Peaches to the wedding, that puts pressure on a guy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
A little bit.
And did she catch
She
the
did not
bouquet?
catch the bouquet.
Oh,
though,
she didn't. Okay.
So
Well, it's not quite as bad then.
Did they get engaged at the wedding? Well, that would be. Would that be appropriate? I don't know.
Steal the thunder
It's the
a little
same
bit
weekend.
there.
Yeah, I know, but it's the same weekend though, right?
During the ceremony.
I just found out
yeah,
about it right
he
now.
stood up and said,
Johnstone.
"Does anybody object?" They stand up. We don't object, but we want to put the spotlight on us.
Yeah, but Anna would totally do that, though. I mean, you know, she would. But I think it's great. I've said before, Peaches is nuts. Look, you have a girl like that, you have a woman like that in your life. You put a ring on that. I'm pretty sure you put a ring on that. Anna's a great girl, and so good for him for finally doing the right thing and making Anna an honest woman. Congratulations to both of them. I think that's awesome.
Well, the question is, what has Renee got cooking now?
Oh,
he's next, right?
She's got a couple of guys on the
side. I have Fiendish 3.
Oh,
he's got Fiendish 3 in the oven. That's about it right now.
You draw comics, you know I don't have time for this.
Yeah, but one day, some very handsome comic book writer, maybe illustrator, is going to come along, and he's going to understand you, and his lifestyle is going to fit into yours. We'll all approve of him because we'll think he's a great guy, whoever this is.
No, it's going to be an Uber driver bringing her dinner.
I thought whoever it is going to have to ask the king's permission if he can take her hand.
No.
He's going to finally say the next guy at this door. Just grab him.
That's a little too basic, bitch, for me.
That's the dream, is to have like somebody who understands what you do, you know. And it's like, because comic book artists' lifestyles are so weird. You have to have either a very understanding spouse or another artist who's just like painting next to you, can maybe help you, give you some tips, and maybe you give him some tips. And I don't know, it'd be nice.
You need someone that understands, because we're so weird. But I have hope. I have hope someday.
Yeah, right. Just, you know, be careful. There are a lot of freaks in the mainstream. So very carefully. Android 33 says, just swooping in for Queenie 2000K Renee.
Thank you. Oh,
by the way, of course, everybody knows the word of the day is swoop. Actually, I think it's going to be the COMICSGATE word du jour. You know, maybe every day going forward. Swoop is the new catchphrase. Everybody's digging it, and I don't blame them. It's all about the swoop. Ready?
No.
All right, that's enough of that. But swoop, just so everybody knows, swoop going forward. It might even replace like fire tonight. Josie says, "Congrats to Anna. Sorry, Cecil Peaches is off the market." A lot of heartbreak there. But I mean, to be fair, Cecil could have put a ring on Peaches too, and he never did. He who waits. You know, let's be honest here. All right. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. More people will come in here as we go. First of all, big news, as it's already been hinted at. Renee joined the 200K club with Fiendish 2 on Saturday night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Hail COMICSGATE and Flash, because it was on Flash's channel.
An amazing accomplishment. Lieutenant Hughes says Melanie Mack caught the bouquet. Melanie Mack.
I saw that. She was like,
did she go for it, or was she trying to dodge it?
Team.
She went for it. She almost
Really?
dropped it, and then she did like this volleyball, like backwards jump and caught it. It was epic.
Wow. Yeah. Melanie Mack is beautiful. So I guess we're going to see her get married soon too. Very exciting. Good stuff. But Renee is 200K now, and that's great. It's becoming easier. You know, the thing about crowdfunding comics is that reaching 6 figures used to be a really big deal. It's becoming a lot more common now. And then it's actually getting to the point where some people are getting to 200 and then occasionally 300,000. And it's pretty exciting stuff all around. So we want to congratulate you. We've got another guy in the background here who...
What do you mean?
That's the Mexican Vogue, by the way, in case it's gonna catch on.
Very nice.
It's gonna be hot.
Sounds racist. I don't know, Jimmy. I don't know if I'd push that.
You got to get a new version with Swoop in there.
That just needs to be Rob's.
Yeah.
Oh no, dude, that music is the worst. Don't do that to me.
SHS Rebels 08 says, I'm surprised that Peaches would marry a woman with a body count higher than 2,000.
Aww. That's not true.
Yeah.
Is it?
Body count. What's
Isn't
he
that
talking
though?
about? Like
Has Anna
sexy
killed
body count?
2,000 people? Is that what that means? Or I'm not sure. Let me just catch up with the super chats. Super Bowl 2023, Hail CG. Cecil put mask back on, says Internet Guy. He will. I really think he regrets it. Steve Roberts, wow, $50 says, okay, I guess these are for you now, Uncle Lee. Congrats to Anna. Oh, poor Steve Roberts. Oh, he was carrying a torch for Anna. It's hard. I mean, hearts do break, you know. You got to remember that as much happiness is being created by a marriage, there are also a lot of heartbreaks. But listen, you snooze, you lose. Everybody, you got to get out there, and you like a girl, you got to let her know. Tonight, Aaron Lepresti's Wraith of God is on our agenda. We're going to be talking about.
It's the March to Catch Rini now. That's what it is.
You can do it. Go for it. 200K. I'm right to God. Let's go.
I want the March to catch Aaron.
Alo, you could always rob a bank and get into the 200K that way.
I'll do what I have to do.
That's my plan.
I'm not going down easy on this one.
I want to be in that club.
I think you can get there. You're already pretty close. Here's a friend of ours who's going to get there pretty damn soon, sooner than I think anybody knows. Meet.
Roger, Eagle, go for landing. Over. Roger, understand. Go for landing. Eagle looking great. Houston, the Eagle has landed.
Hello there.
Graham.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, Graham.
How's everybody?
Good, man.
Good.
Good.
Congrats on the closeout for Joe Frankenstein.
Same for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so Aaron Lepresti's Graham, we're focusing on two campaigns today, especially two campaigns today that I would like to just promote the hell out of and get people to back. One of them is Wraith of God Blood Hunters, and no offense to anyone else, but there are two campaigns that I really want to focus on. Aaron Lepresti's Wraith of God Blood Hunters is the first one, and this is why. Check this trailer out. Yeah, this is the sequel to one of the best reviewed comics that anybody's put out in the indie space. If you missed the first Wraith of God, it's available here, but I mean, you've got to get the second one if you got the first one. And obviously, time is ticking. This is going to close down and it's going to ship.
Yep. I've got 14 more pages to go out of the 100 pages. So we're really close. And some people had asked me to put up a perk because I have the second print of the first book in hand now. I'm just filling out that orders for the Second Chance campaign. And I'm going to put them up as a perk on here as well in the next couple days. So you can get both. If you want to get the original printing and you missed the first issue, you can get the second print and then pick up Blood Hunters as well.
When do you think this is going to ship?
As of right now, if everything goes smoothly, I'll be done with this book in August, and then it'll be, how quickly turnaround time is with the printer at that point. But I would like to think that I'd be able to start shipping this thing in September.
Oh my God. Can you imagine getting a copy of this just in time for Halloween?
Hey, there you go. Exactly. Look at that.
All right, guys. Look, make your October 31st, your Halloween season extra spooky. Pre-order it today, right in the summertime. Aaron Lepresti's Rate the God Blood Hunters. Don't miss this book. This is a really, really good supernatural superhero kind of tale. And you're going to really, really enjoy it. We're proud of Aaron around here. Aaron, thanks for being a part of this. You being here lends a lot of credence and a lot of class to the place, and we love you here. So
well, and I appreciate the platform that you provided for not just me, but for all of us to get us the opportunity to be seen and promote the books. So thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. I can't sell comics that aren't any good, and that's why I love you guys. You guys just make the whole thing look. You make the whole thing look great and make it look easy. Oh, we got a friend in the back room here. Let's bring him in.
It's time again for total excitement with your fifth whoa, whoa, whoa. Let us leave the confusion and all disillusion behind us. Just like birds of a feather, a rainbow together we'll fly.
Billy!
Bing!
Billy
Tucci.
Hello.
Hey, y'all. What's happening?
Well, we're happy to see you, Billy. You, of course, are the star of the thumbnail today. One of the coolest memes, I think, that just cutting in close on Billy's smile is terrific, and it just makes me laugh. So that is the thumbnail today. I can't wait to hang out with you boys. I haven't been out of the house in so long. Not since the last time, we had the cigar party. I'm really looking forward to getting out there and hanging out. Garden State Comic Fest this weekend. So I'm going to see Graham. I'm going to see Billy. I'm going to see Andy. I'm going to see Dan Frega. And I'm going to see all of you who decide to come and visit us. I'm really looking forward to it.
I saw your new chair you got, that new fold-out chair for the convention.
Yeah, I hope that's okay. I needed a chair. Listen, I've heard a lot of stories about people stealing chairs at conventions. I don't want to. The last thing I want to do is be at a convention and not have a chair. That's like the worst. It's so embarrassing. I don't want to stand up the whole time. So I did pre-order this chair, which will be waiting for me.
That's beautiful.
I hope it isn't too ostentatious, and I hope that it's. I'm just saying.
It's the guys who have to carry you in.
Would your legs dangle?
Me? Yeah. I would.
Large.
We got a surprise guest. I love this guy.
I'm giving you the children's ray. I'm not a sharper. Old man sleeping in the rope bed in the room behind the Chinese grocery.
I can still hear my old hound dog barking.
Don't believe in fairy tales, or sermons, or stories about money, but thanks for the cigarettes.
Born on the bayou.
Jesse!
There he is.
I mean, Henry Cavill. Hello.
Hello there. Hello,
Every
love.
day.
That is not Kelsey.
Oh,
Kelsey,
sorry.
You're not fooling me.
It's the same way.
Oh, did you shave?
I had to
did you
get in
shave
here
the head?
quick. This shit was in danger of being like church. You were like, I'd like to thank
He's playing another
for his
video.
contributions to
I
this
feel
evening.
appreciative. I really do. I'm surrounded by great people. Sometimes today I sat out there in the spa with Andrew. She's like, "You want to come outside, get away from your desk, and just like soak with me a little bit?" And so I went out in the hot tub, and I was just like, I was just like so grateful for everything. I'm really grateful for all you guys. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful that, you know, we have this platform and this kind of success. You know, Irene hitting 200,000, this convention this weekend, just, you know, a lot of good stuff going on. And so I'm very pleased. And I wanted to, in case I don't say it, I know I'm not exactly a softie. I wanted to, you know, just say that I love you guys. Sean Ferris for 1776. Hail chat kings and swoopers. This chat is for Rini. My wife won the Dark Crystal auction from your slam dunk win on Graybeards. If you shipped it, she didn't get it. What's a good way to contact Sean Ferris?
Oh, I just mailed it out last week because I promised to do an extra drawing, so it took some time. But you should be getting it this.
Oh,
week.
she just lazy. Oh, that's it.
There needs to be a little bit of clarification here. The Graybeards is not a competition, so there was no victory or anything to be had. It was just artists getting together to draw.
Just out of curiosity, Lopez, where did you rank?
Every week I get a text from Kelsey after saying, guess what I won again? And I'm like, again? It's every week with you, Kelsey.
All right, I'm going to be the bad guy. Andy, you got to check your mic cord.
It's clipping really bad. You sound like you're...
okay, hold on.
Sounds like an old television set. That's okay. Thank you, Kelsey, for being the bad guy. I just put up with it now.
He was about to reveal my private DMs to him. Nobody knows I DM with Andy.
Hey, by the way, the other thing I want to do tonight, and I've actually linked this one to the top of the chat. Somebody said most COMICSGATE Kings these days are reaching 6 figures. Yes, most of us are. Some of us aren't yet. We've got Jimmy, we've got Rob Hunter, and we've got Andy Smith, people who have not quite had an opportunity to reach 6 figures yet. And I'd like to see what we can do about remedying that. I can't do it myself. I got to ask for help from the chat. You guys make all this possible. We're really close. Today is Kordrath Day, Kordrath the Reckoning. Andy, you want to talk about this a little bit? Talk about Kordrath and what it means to you, what it's about.
Oh, I will. Hopefully the mic sounds better.
Oh, my God. Never mind.
Boot him. Oh, my God.
It also sounds like
What
it's
happened?
What in the world?
I'm going to try plugging it back in. Hold on.
Oh,
I am offended, sir.
Blow on it.
He's in a
Andy.
time warp.
it's always Andy, and he always denies it's him.
So are Kordrath, star-crossed lovers, barbarians, and mages. If you like D&D and fantasy, then this is a book for you. Everybody back here right now. It looks awesome.
Rini is going to sell this for Randy. Here's the trailer.
They slaughtered his tribe.
Oh, man. Zack Snyder just came on himself.
The Snyder Cut.
Nice.
Ooh, I like his design. Nice.
Somebody in the chat is pointing out that while we're promoting this book, Andy Smith himself is suffering from some form of Kordrath. Which is pissing him off.
How's it now? Is it better now?
There we go.
Much better. Much better.
That's the Andy we know and love.
It's better now? Okay, well, there you go.
Now you just sound like Andy.
So, yes.
Yeah.
I love that trailer, Andy. It was awesome.
Thank you.
That's a great trailer.
Yeah, Kordrath, 76 pages of barbarian, ball-busting, bloodletting, bloodthirsty action. Aaron, I'm on page 64 out of 76. I think that... Oh, no, I finished 64 today, so tomorrow I start 65.
So you're 12 pages away.
Show-offs.
And I'm 14.
I'm just saying, Aaron last week was like, oh, I'm ahead of you. And I was like, what? So,
not if I can help it.
Nice to hear people getting stuff done. I love it. A friend to everyone here, Mike Barron. Hello. I thought it was really, really, really good. Mike Barron, who just vanished out of here. Why did I say something to offend Mike Barron?
Don't you make a move, Sonny. It'd snap your neck in a heartbeat.
Hi, guys.
Hey, bud. There he is.
Hey, dude.
Mike Barron calling from a city bus, apparently.
Kelsey calls it as he
Going
sees
through a
it.
tunnel.
Or hears
It's
it.
like you're in a different room.
Oh,
No, I've got a new camera.
yeah. Look
It
at
looks
Boomy.
good. I like the new camera. Now can you get a new microphone? Why is everybody like
Even the dog ran.
You hurt me.
Hey Mike, by the way, congratulations on getting a special thank you in the Flash movie. What's that feel like? I'd like to know.
It feels like nothing.
It doesn't. Wow.
Hey, I got dissed on Planet Hulk, Ethan. So you know.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! They didn't thank you for that.
No,
Wait a
or
minute.
the animated movie.
Scumbag.
They interviewed me for the animated film and didn't thank me.
Wow.
Did they thank you in the form of a check?
Yes.
Uh,
Check.
all right,
Check
well,
is
that
always more
counts.
important.
Well, after I complained, they did thank me in the form of a check after I called them and got a little upset about the fact that they did
Oh,
not
you had to
thank me.
complain?
You wrote
Yeah.
a scathing letter.
So
No,
it was like what?
I phone call.
Was it sitting in a box of don't send these checks out unless someone calls about them?
That's the name of the box. They just put a bunch of checks there, and then when somebody calls, they're like, "All right, get it out, and mail it."
Oh shit!
Kind of like they had to do for
After
the
a
art
calendar
from
year,
Rini.
they shred them.
Rini had that art in a special box until they call, and then you mail it out.
Well, we got a bunch of stuff to do today, a bunch of topics to cover. We're going to be nerds today. I think we're going to make this a nerd show tonight. We don't always have to do this, but we're going to cover some nerd news, and I'd like to get your nerdy opinions about this nerd shit.
Nerds.
See that nerd shit.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. So first and foremost, something very interesting happened, and I'm kind of I'm intrigued by this. I don't know if you guys are. KRAVEN the Hunter, a character that you like. Don't like.
Do we?
How is he getting his own movie?
No.
Well, he was pretty cool in the Sinister Six.
I thought he was in the comics.
I like that miniseries.
Doesn't he run around in a Speedo? I mean, isn't that his thing?
I thought it was a furry.
No, it's like a
Hawaiian-
That
pants.
character
merkin.
has tremendous potential.
He
Well,
runs
listen to
around
Mike.
in yoga pants, leopard skin yoga pants.
Yoga
Oh.
pants.
There's no possible way that Billy Tucci would not wear that lion jacket. He would totally. Are you kidding me? That is the coolest. The lion head jacket is awesome.
Okay, I'm thinking about a different character then.
Billy
That
would
sounds
You totally are.
Billy
You
would
should
kill
Google
the
it.
lion and then turn it into a coat for himself.
Oh Lord, I would not kill a lion.
Oh, KRAVEN, the Spider-Man guy.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Oh,
Hey, welcome to the show.
At least it wasn't me this time.
I'm thinking of that guy that runs around. He's like like the John Carter character, Killraven.
Killraven. Oh,
Okay,
Oh.
never mind.
Oh no.
High boots. Yeah.
I heard they gave him some like weird lion blood superpowers in the trailer or something.
Well,
that
we're
makes
gonna
no
watch.
sense.
We're gonna watch the trailer here, and we're gonna decide how it is. So this is what nerds do on nerd shows. We look at trailers, we discuss them. All right, first poster and trailer for KRAVEN the Hunter has been released. Here's the poster. I got to tell you something.
Ooh,
That's pretty
Not
fucking
bad.
cool.
Yeah.
Rainey likes it.
not bad. Yeah, I don't mind this at all.
What part is it? Is it the abs or the abs?
Some crazy ass preparations.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah,
There,
seriously, yeah.
there are things other
Is
than
that the-
abs. I wasn't paying
Is that the
attention.
kick-ass guy? Is that the guy from
Who's the,
Kick-Ass?
who's the actor?
Let me see.
No shit, it is the kick-ass guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Ethan,
He's
that's the
grown up.
chair. That's the chair you need for the
He
convention.
did good in that Brad
Yes.
Pitt movie with the chain in Japan.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
thought that guy did a good job. He turned me around on him. I was like, eh.
You need a
was,
bunch
he-
of. You need a bunch of
Inception-
skulls
Inception.
around your chair, Ethan.
Well,
Huh.
yes, I wouldn't mind having a few skulls around my chair at the comic convention.
Don't
So
get his
this is-
bloodlust up. We're trying to get nerdy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
all right. So this looks good to me. Like I'm like he actually looks like KRAVEN. The Sony movies do a pretty good job of kind of imitating the comics. You know, unlike DC. Like I don't understand why DC Comics can't get it together and do something that looks. As soon as I saw this, I went, "Oh shit, that's KRAVEN. That looks just like him. That's fantastic."
Right.
DC can't get it right. The Flash movie this weekend is an absolute catastrophe. All right, so here's the trailer. Take a look at this here. Yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
what if
you
I
have to
do
go to
this?
YouTube, I think.
go
so you can
bigger.
blow
Yeah,
it
go
up,
YouTube, go
unfortunately.
bigger.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
as we
that-
watch
show the
this
new
trailer, we need to remember that it's always good to have candy snacks. Now, I got to ask Rini because Rini is our like Asian connection here. Have you ever had Pocky?
Yeah, Pockies are great. I love Pocky.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you know
Aaron,
that.
can I correct you for a moment so you don't be racist on the stream? We prefer the term, and Rini, correct me if I'm wrong, Oriental connection. Is that what we all prefer now?
I really don't care.
Oh.
Pockies are great, though.
Okay, well.
Not the people that made the railroad.
Oh no! I was just getting.
Oh, you mean the Irish?
Oh yeah.
It isn't even me doing it this time. It's you guys. Look at that.
Rini, grab some dental floss and cover your eyes while we watch this trailer.
Oh
my!
Wow!
Just a wow!
What
See what happens when you hit 200K?
Yeah, you're up for ripping.
We're changing the spotlight off of Cordra.
Andy just lost 200 sales.
Oh, that's my favorite.
No, back Cordra.
You gotta understand, Irene right now is like protected class. Like everybody loves Irene. They just took her to They put her in John Malin's stratosphere right now. You know, Rini is, and John Malin. He's not too. John Malin's a little bit iffy about all this, to be honest with you. He feels the threat. He feels Rini like, you know, breathing on his neck. Not like that, but I mean, you know, he feels like.
Oh God!
Rini the stalker.
John is acting. He's acting a little bit nervous about it, and I don't blame him. I said Rini's next book's going to hit 300,000 easily, absolutely easily.
That would be great, but I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I will do my best. I will do my best.
People are saying Rini is coming for Malin, but Malin's belt is secure. Some other people are saying, we'll see about that. I'm just saying, you know, it's good to have competition like that.
Hey, you never sent my belt back to me.
Why? What do you mean?
I totally forgot about that. You never sent it back to me. Oh crap. Okay. Anyways.
Did you win the belt back? Is it supposed to be with you?
Well, he was supposed to have it for 6 months, and then he was supposed to give it back.
Maybe he's waiting for the next art contest, so he doesn't have to send it back. He can just win right then.
Oh my gosh, that's not fair.
That's confidence.
All right, we got to get to work, guys. We got to get to work. Here's KRAVEN the Hunter's official trailer. Everybody, put your review glasses on, and let's examine this trailer.
Oh,
my son, never show mercy. They are prey. We are predators.
Whoa, Russell Crowe.
What you doing in there? Fat Russell Crowe too.
Your mother is dead. She died because you sent her away. She was weak, sick in her mind. You know my business, yes? Power is about strength. If you show weakness, you will give our enemies an opening. Shoot.
Wow. Nice.
Wow.
That's my logo right there, the lion.
Like his mother.
That's some shitty CGI.
Yeah.
You ruined it for me. I didn't even know it was CGI. I was into it. I wasn't paying attention.
I stared death in the face, and for the first time, I saw my true self.
Was that lion like radioactive and bit him?
Yeah, why would the lion give him powers?
Yeah,
well, I don't. Does KRAVEN have any superpowers? I mean,
I not think really. He wasn't not in the comics.
Yeah,
kinda.
I thought he was like a regular guy.
Didn't he drink
smoked a lot of weed, but I don't know if that gives you power.
All right, so far I'm like, aside from the fact that it's like everything that we're seeing, the action sequences, I've seen Liam Neeson do already. Like in a movie.
True. In every
Come
Taken
on.
movie.
Yeah, it's like, can we come up with something new? I just, it'd be nice.
When does Spider-Man come in?
Actually, you know what? Like, I've seen Liam Neeson do this in The Gray too. Everything that we just
That's
said.
a great movie.
Yeah,
it sure is. The Gray is awesome. Terrifying.
There's only one way off.
The 6 of us, and only one of you.
There's 6 of you now.
Oh, he bit his nose off.
Oh,
yeah. Wow.
Yikes!
And he did that math in his head.
Puts evil into the world.
Wow.
I take it out.
Look at that.
whoa! I like the blood.
You're exactly like your father. Just another man.
Wait a minute. Is that the guy who played Quicksilver
Yes.
Yeah.
in the Avengers movie?
Yes. And Kick-Ass.
Okay.
Is it?
And he was in Tenet. He was in Tenet too.
Wasn't he in Godzilla?
Was he in Tenet? Oh, the first
Yeah,
guy.
Yeah, he was in
2016.
Godzilla too. Yeah.
He was one of the military guys who actually had a line. It was at the end of the movie.
Geek Avenger says, in the comic, Kraven got his powers from training and drinking a secret potion of herbs found only in the jungle.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a better story than Lion Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, steroids.
South America has a lot of jungles.
Yeah. Which jungle?
It's a long trailer. 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Damn.
Gory too for a trailer.
Do that to me anymore.
Yeah.
It's gotta be rated
Should be
R.
like a Red Band trailer.
Sure.
Well, they always do that on like when they release them on YouTube and stuff. They give you the R-rated trailer as opposed to what you'd see in a theater or on TV.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Tackley? Where's Mr. Tackley?
Oh, you're standing in him.
You're standing in him. That's some Mike Barron shit right there.
Like an arrow. Like an arrow can knock a guy back.
Yeah, that's not realistic.
He can run like a monkey, like
Whoa.
glass.
That whole thing, like about like getting hit with a projectile, like a bullet or an arrow, and being blown backwards. Is the entire reason why like people think there was someone on the grassy knoll, for the Kennedy assassination. Like people think they've seen movies and they think a bullet makes you kind of your head go, it like blows you away.
Right.
And I've shot like tons of people in the head, and like it doesn't do that, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Back when you were running in the streets.
I'm still at large.
He was running in the streets, yeah.
Ooh.
So is he like DC's Vixen, like, but without her powers?
Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?
I don't know.
Oh, he's Rhino.
Oh,
Show me the Rhino. They didn't show me the Rhino. They just
rewind that. Can you rewind that a little bit?
Yeah, I will. Let me see. Right here.
That's a great poster.
Yeah, it really is.
That is. I agree.
You're a goddamn lunatic. Oh, you just
Oh,
figured that
she
out
had.
now.
So I hear Graham. You could tell he's not liking the non-realistic stuff, the stuff that's like goes over the top. And there's part of me that agrees with him, but I'm thinking that's because they're straddling the line. Like if they'd have gone full-on comic book nuts, then all that stuff would be great. More. I want guys flying through the air when you shoot them. Things like that, like Robert Rodriguez did with Desperado, or something like that.
Yeah.
But they're straddling the line. It could be a kick-ass serious movie if that's what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's not
more like Robert Rodriguez did with Spy Kids.
Anybody see Extraction 2?
All right, hold on. Let's
Yes.
watch this
Yeah,
Rhino
I did.
part. Here, hold on.
Yes. It was great.
There is an animal in each one of us.
Don't you want to know why
Yeah,
they call me the
it's
Rhino?
no Hellefont. Yeah.
Pardon? You're in Comic the Kings?
We are. This
Oh.
is the Kings.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
You guys can hear the voices in my head too?
Yeah. Like I can't see you guys. I'm looking at the screen in the trailer.
I can't see him either because the pictures are too small.
Oh.
What character? What
Blow up
character
your
is that
screen.
girl? Guys?
Yeah, who's the girl? Does anybody know?
The gauntlet. She had some kind
She
of
had the gauntlet
chrome
and the necklace, like the
silver gauntlet on.
yeah.
Oh, she could be the voodoo chick that was in McFarlane's Spider-Man and Craven stuff.
Oh, Calypso. Calypso.
Yeah.
Madame Voodoo. What's her name?
Why they call me the Rhino?
Well, you know what? Like, I don't want to hear a guy say, "Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?"
No.
You know what I mean?
I asked that of all my dates. Yeah.
You want to see?
Because
my
I'm
more?
always horny.
We don't get to see what the Rhino looks like here. Just his hand, I guess. Hold on.
The chat is saying it's Calypso, Billy.
Oh,
yeah, I just looked it
Girl.
up. She does play Calypso.
Wow, interesting.
I approve of this poster.
You do.
Yeah.
I want the
mean-
leopard pants.
I don't approve. They didn't get rights for my likeness.
I think the lion blood superpower thing is kind of lame. I like the idea of what it's apparently, getting superpowers from training or some woodland concoction. But it's actually look good. Yeah, I might watch this through totally legal means.
But
I'm hoping that there's a little more to it.
I don't like
than just
I don't like the
regular lion
CGI
blood.
blood. I don't like the CGI bloodletting. I like the back in the old days when there used to be practical effects. When you chop somebody in the head and the blood, blood splurting out.
Yeah, you kill them actually in the movie for real. Yeah.
Yeah,
You get a homeless person.
That's
Well, do you
today's
think-
version.
Do you think maybe with all this, how should we see, accidents on set in recent years, that they're like sort of eliminating these kind of fake guns and the splatter effects and stuff, and just like
how many accidents on set are there? They're minuscule. Alec Baldwin blew it out of the water because he's so stupid. So stupid. I mean, anybody. I don't even want to go into it, but really, when you consider the ballistics have been shown in movies over the years, the incredible firepower. It's a miracle not more people are hurt, but I assume that's because they know what they're doing.
Look at Baron's right in a way that, there's nothing wrong with the guns. They're super safe. They've been doing it for years. They know probably better than anybody how to use them. I think it's far more cynical in that they just don't want to take the time and the money to make sure the continuity is correct from shot to shot. So if they just do it digitally, they can control continuity right down the wires, right down the line.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
We need more stuntmen.
Back in the 30s, before they had the squibs and all that kind of stuff, they used real bullets.
Yeah.
Art Hall Jr. was saying that. Remember when we were watching that movie on Incellivision, The Sadist?
Yeah.
All of the bullets in there were real. He's like, my father was on the set. Whenever they were firing a gun, those were real bullets, and they would at one point, they hit a car door behind him
with lead projectiles.
Real bullets.
In the 1931 James Cagney film, Public Enemy, he's about to be ambushed, and these guys got Tommy guns, and he peeks his head out around the corner, this concrete corner, and then he ducks back. And then they let go with the Tommy guns, and you can see what real bullets do to concrete. I mean, that fucking thing just lights up.
Yeah.
And Cagney went ballistic. And he said, "Never again," because he was still behind that alleyway.
When I was
what about that the Kurosawa movie where they shot Mifune with real arrows all around him?
Oh damn!
I mean, that's not guns, but I don't remember the movie.
Throne of Blood.
Yeah.
Was that what it was? Yeah. Oh my god.
People used to be harder.
Got him in the neck.
When I was a kid, we didn't play paintball. We used to play with real BB guns and shoot each other with BB guns. Do you guys do that as well?
Play with
no.
I'm not
BB guns.
I don't
We had
recommend it, kids.
slingshots. What we would do, because we were poor, we were broke kids. I'd take 3 or 4 rubber bands and I'd wrap them around my thumb and my pinky like this. You take a paper clip and you get a wire cutter and you cut it right in half, and you get 3 U-shaped metal pieces that you put in the rubber band, and you do this, boom, and we would shoot squirrels off trees. And we were doing this from my window, my attic window, in my house. We were shooting everything, doing it all day long. All the neighbor kids were over. We're shooting things.
That explains a lot.
Bands. And the old lady across the street, Millie, used to give us kids a hard time. And my friend Lino says, "I dare you." And I was like,
Oh.
And I hit her right in the neck. And she's like, "Ah!" She's screaming.
No.
And the police came over. She called the cops. So the cops are at the door, and my mom goes, "Ethan," and I come down
Right away.
to answer this scenario. And the police officer's like, "Do you know anything about shooting paper clips out your window?" And I said, "We might have been doing that." He goes, How many times have you been doing that? And I said, "A couple." And he goes, "Really?" And he opens his hand, and he has some of them are rusty, like a handful of paper clips that he's collected from up and down the street.
There's a pile of dead bodies out back that has your name all over it.
Dead squirrels, yeah. A lot of squirrels.
Oh my gosh, my mom got me out of it. She talked to the we'll take care of them, but and Millie across the street didn't press charges or anything. But yeah, I hit her right in the neck. It was stupid.
Jeez.
Really
We
dumb.
had one of those CO2 pellet guns, and the CO2 was low, and there was a bird up on a wire. I said, my brother goes, "Do you think I could hit that bird?" I said, "No, there's no way you can hit that bird. The CO2 is really low on it." So he takes aim and he fires it, and the damn BB comes out so slow you can see the arc on it. It goes up like this and arcs, comes down, hits the bird in the head, and the bird starts going like this, and then he falls off the wire and lands on a fence post and goes,
Oh man.
I go, "Oh my God, that's gonna kill us."
You're Kraven the Hunter as a child. That's unbelievable.
Right before your dad kills you, he'd be like, "That's my boy." Yeah.
Damn good shot, son.
Yeah.
I gotta whip you.
Makes me
That's what
sad.
We used to build forts out of like sod in our, like we had this backfield that we used to have, and we would have dirt clod fights. And sometimes there would be rocks in there and you don't even know it. I mean, we were killing each other out there, just zinging these hard as rock dirt clods at each other.
We used to do those too. They just go "fuck" when they hit you. It made the
there was a rock in that.
And
somebody always got hurt, went crying to mom, then we all got in trouble. "You're not doing that anymore." And of course, the next Saturday we were right back out there doing it again.
Did you guys ever play King of the Hill? And then when you roll somebody down the hill, they hit a rock?
No.
That ever happened?
No.
Did you light them on fire too, Jimmy?
No, you all stand on top of a mountain, like 5 people on top of a dirt hill at a construction site, and you all fight and battle to the last man standing on top of the hill.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I did that.
Yeah.
I got low center of gravity, so I would win like almost every time.
Nice.
This is all.
I had a
nice.
firecracker war like a real person.
Jay Bomber
Never
fan
should.
says you guys are monsters, and Cars and Death says killing squirrels. Harming animals is a symptom of sociopaths. Maybe so.
It is.
But now I've devoted my life to rescuing frogs from pool filters, so I feel like I've been absolved.
Yet Cars and Death didn't consider trying to assassinate an 80-year-old lady, the act of a sociopath.
I didn't think I was going to do it. Like, I was just like, I didn't want to, I don't even know what was going through my head. I was like, I'm going to miss, but sure, I'll do it. Deanio says the director of John Wick said they used digital blood and muscle flashes to save time.
Yeah.
What is it? Muzzle flash, you mean?
You gotta pull the muscle out of the bay. and you load it in the gun.
Oh.
What did you guys think of the Kraven the Hunter trailer overall? Like, what do you think?
I'd like to see the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me
I think it looks intriguing because it's definitely going to be rated R, so it'll be interesting to see what they go with.
It kind of reminds me of that.
I think we're not going to see anything new.
That's probably true too,
Well,
but I kind of want to see something that resembles. See, Sony. Say what you want about Sony, their movies are kind of trashy, but like the Marvel movies that they do. But at the same time, they're true to the source material, which is appreciated, even though they're like B movies compared to like what Disney is doing with the MCU. They're still so true to the source material. Unlike The Flash. Did you guys, anybody watch The Flash this weekend?
No.
I've been hearing about it though.
I liked it.
You did like it.
I haven't
did.
been
I
in a
honestly,
theater in over
it was
a year.
funny.
Yeah.
I can't bring myself to go watch anything that dude's in, man.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
a
with you
psychopath.
there.
I just
That
can't stand
scumbag.
him.
Oh, sorry. I gotta go. I'll try to be back
All
later.
right.
But
The
thank
Uber
you.
driver said
Hi, Renee.
Oh,
But
bring us
thank you.
sandwiches when you come back.
I
Bye,
will.
Rennie.
I will. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you, Ethan, for
We'll see you
all
guys.
that you do, and thank you for your support. Everybody, go back,
Cordrath and
yeah,
Rate the God.
yes, and rate the God.
Congratulations, Rainey.
She's getting as bad as Billy.
Just say see ya, and we'll say beat it, chick.
Yeah, I got to go too. If my new job is an Uber driver.
Gotta go deliver Rainey's food.
Rate of God, Blood Hunters by Aaron Lepresti, live right now.
Oh, hey,
and,
thank you. Got a few backers there.
Yes, indeed. And of course, pinned to the top of the chat is Cordrath the Reckoning. And we're looking for people to back Andy Smith's new project. Cordrath, thank you. We got a few.
Thank
We're
you.
very close to 81,000 right now, guys. So if you haven't reserved your copy of Cordrath, get it today. You've got a bunch of different choices. You'll buy Andy and Dennis a beer. I can't believe you guys all do this. I'm going to do this with Cyber. Buy me a beer or buy me a pie.
Well, because once we're done, we'll go to the bar and live stream as we drink them. So.
Oh,
really?
nice.
Oh.
Nice.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do buy me a pie for Cyberpunk 3, and then I'm going to do live stream a pie eating contest.
No, but you
I
gotta
know.
throw them at something, you know?
No, people don't want to see
Pie
me
talk
throw
thing.
them. They want to see me eat them.
Ah,
Here's $25 for a copy of Cordrath. If you guys would back it, that would be very much appreciated. We can only succeed at this because of your support.
Absolutely.
And
Thank
man,
you.
it'd be great to see Andy. Andy's really close to six figures, his first six-figure campaign. It'd be amazing to make this happen at six figures. So I'm gonna remind everybody and talk about it.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Fucking hell.
Oh no.
All right. The Flash.
Is he
I watched
touching his
this.
own face here? Is that what that is?
Mother,
You say you saw?
No, it's his mom.
Mom.
Oh,
His
okay.
mom.
All right.
It's just the taint scene.
Oh,
Oh.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Did anybody here see it?
Yeah. Yep. I saw it.
What'd you think?
I liked it. It was funny. It was dramatic. There's cool action scenes.
Talk about it. The cool action scenes. Did you like The Flash?
I did like the Flash. He was funny. He was weird. Michael Keaton as Batman was kicking. It was really cool in the beginning when you first see him. You get a little bit of that Christian Bale after he retired kind of vibe. I liked Supergirl. I actually thought it was going to be Wonder Woman and Superman's daughter, but the character is actually supposed to be Supergirl.
So have
She's
you
pretty cool.
seen any of the reviews of it? And like, do you like, since you liked it, what do you think their deal is? Like, what do you think think that they're seeing is wrong?
I think most of the people who complain about it didn't watch it, and anybody who did watch it, I didn't read the reviews. If I like it, why do I care what they think? To be honest.
Well, I watched the Red Letter Media guys, and they seem to like it.
Oh, dude, there's so much about it. What's so awful about it is that it's polluted by this terrible interpretation of the Flash by Ezra Miller. He's an effeminate. It's like if Pauly Shore were the Flash, and it is. I mean, it's like, okay, so that's who the character is. Waka Waka. He's really funny, and then there's a junior version of him that he meets at 18. By the way, did you know that like if your mom lives, this is what the whole movie is kind of about. It's like one version of Ezra Miller, his mom is murdered, and that version of Ezra Miller is effeminate and annoying. And then he goes to the future and he meets, or he goes back in time and he meets an 18-year-old version of himself in which his mother lives, and he is an effeminate, annoying surfer dude. Like he's suddenly he's Bill and Ted. Essentially, he's like, "Yo, what's up, dude? Oh, you're a future version of me? Whoa,
Wild stallions."
Yeah, like do that again. Do that running fast thing that you do. Whoa, tubular.
And then the other version is an effeminate Flash, right? So like that's the one through line, right?
Effeminate is the through line. It's super annoying, and throughout it, like because both of them are together, Ezra Miller can't help but sort of, oh, holy shit.
Uh-oh.
Something
What?
says Fran came back to life.
So, Kelsey,
Hey,
what did you really
Bob,
think?
Does Ezra Miller, does the older Flash try and groom his younger self?
Out of the corner of my eye. Out of the corner. Hold on a second here. You're not going to.
Yeah.
Sorry about this.
We're on the edge of our seats here, Ethan.
Yeah.
But the studio was burning.
Out of the corner of my eye, I see movement. And I'm like,
oh, the snake. I was right. Dude.
No, what?
I was right.
I left my
Return
door
Fran.
open for 1 second, and we got a little.
That's a good sign.
Infiltrated.
Oh,
Yeah, take that as a good sign. Yeah.
Do you? Because
And
Ray
now he's
Land
gone.
got killed by a bunch of frogs in the movie
Why
Frogs.
don't you name it Fran too, like they do in The Simpsons when the Santa's little helper passes away? The second one, they just rename it.
No, it's a good sign because he was just talking about saving frogs, and then this one hops in his door. So
How did he get in your house, though?
I have no effing idea. I went outside earlier. My back door was open, so I could go in the pool with Andrea, and I guess he jumped in while the door was open, and he's just running around here on the floor. I gotta go let him out. I would love to keep him, but first I'm gonna run him under some tap water, and then I'm gonna put him outside. So you gentlemen talk for a minute, and I'll be right back. Thank you.
Yeah, you know, when I was a kid in South Dakota, there were frogs every spring, frogs by the thousands and thousands everywhere, covering every ditch, coming out of the lake. And I haven't seen that in years.
We
Yeah,
had
that's
a
not a good
frog
sign.
on our porch. In half of him was in the mouth of a snake.
Oh,
yeah, so terrible. Because like his whole lower half was in the mouth of the snake, and his upper half and his little arms are out, and he's like this. You know, trying to
save
grab on the stuff.
His way out.
You cut the head of the snake off, so you could just pull him right through.
Yeah, save him.
I thought about it, but then everybody's like, "But then you're gonna kill the snake," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, I
fuck
guess
the
everybody's
snake.
gotta eat." You
You
know?
gotta let nature take its course, right?
Everybody's
That's
gotta
what they
eat.
do on Wild Kingdom. They just watch and say, hey,
yeah.
Yeah, we don't interfere. We just observe.
You got to use your superior life form judging, and you save that little frog. You just go, oh, I'm better than both of you. So
No, but that's not how nature works. You see, you save the frog, but it's already got poison, so it dies anyway. So you killed two things.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
no,
Well,
that's exactly how
nobody said it
life
was a
works.
poisonous snake. It's New
You
York.
kill both
Come on.
things.
Well, I hope Fran too survives out there in the wild like that. Doesn't run into
Ethan
one of those-
probably fell on him going up the stairs.
Look, the
Nobody-
moral of the story is to just
Like a
never
big
help.
kid.
Never help
a
anything.
frog.
Yeah,
Never
because you're gonna
help
throw it into
anything.
the
There you
bush.
go.
It's gonna be a
Kelsey's
rat
golden
snake.
rule. Never help anything.
You know, talking about Ezra Miller. You know what? After
The snake, was that what brought him
snake,
back?
yeah. You know, you get him at a table reading, you say, okay, you're right, this guy's a decent actor. He'll do. Next thing you do for the Flash, you take him out into the parking lot and you make him run wind sprints. If he runs like a fag and doesn't look cool running, then you don't hire him.
But, yeah, no, that's true. Like, if you're gonna hire somebody to play the Flash, like they should look cool when they're running. That should be the
Exactly.
first thing that qualifies them, right? The whole thing's weird. Like, one thing that really bothers me is the Flash. They've never been able to convincingly portray what it looks like. Understand when the Flash is running, like his body is like this, right? And the background is going by really, really, really fast. It's just all a blur. What they do is they slow down the background when they're showing like a slow-mo shot of him. And while they're slowing down the background so you can actually, even though it's still going by fast, you can actually see him. They slow down his running too. So you're seeing him do this. Like you would have to slow it down so much to be able to see the Flash run like this.
Right.
Yeah.
So stupid. The background might slow down, but he would still be doing this. He'd still be running like this.
I think that would be cool because if you've seen lightning like slowed down, it's really wild. So like it would be cool if the lightning was as slow as you could possibly go, but he was still moving fast through the scene. So it's like he's even way faster than lightning.
The run effect that they did in the first Underworld movie was really great. They actually had the guy pulled by a Jeep on like one of those running strips, and he could.
Oh
actually
yeah,
run.
that was
Yeah,
that was.
they
a
do that
really
all the
good-
time now.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
I think more traditional. I think would have been effects would have been better rather than like trying to go straight.
Remember when they
CG.
used to slow down the $6 Million Man when he ran?
Yeah,
Yeah, that great music.
It was all the music there.
But every once in a while they'd speed it up, you know, and he's zipping by trees and stuff, and it looked kind of cool. And then he fought Bigfoot. Remember that?
Oh yeah, who could forget that?
Who actually turned out to be an alien?
No, he was an android.
Alien robot.
Oh, he was an android.
Alien
That's
robot.
right.
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
think I'm gonna wear my $6 Million Man tracksuit for.
Oh, you have one?
Garden State. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a Puma one though. It's Puma, but it's red with the white stripes and the pants and the shoes.
There you
What
go.
was the original? Was it Adidas?
Yeah, Adidas, I think. But it just had the
No, don't tell Shane. Oh my God.
thing.
That's his whole thing.
Yeah. Hey, we should get that $6 Million Man sound effect, and every time Shane moves, we play it going.
When he's eating out of a can.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that music that was like we should have that for Shane. Yeah.
Shane does dress like that guy. Shane is Lee Majors.
Before you guys move on to a new topic, I got to head on out. I'm gonna make a long, awkward goodbye like Billy.
Okay.
See you later, Jimmy. Thank you for joining us today.
See you, Jimmy. Have a good
Later.
one.
All right. Billy was trying to say something. Sorry, we kept cutting you off there.
Has anyone watched $6 Million Man, and does it hold up?
No, of course not.
Yeah,
none of that stuff
some of it
holds
does.
up.
Not with inflation, no.
Never seen it.
The first the TV movies.
Yeah, the pilot was actually pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean they're slow. They got that
Yeah.
TV pacing. You know, some of that shit's really slow. But I think
Columbo
some of the-
holds up.
Yeah, Columbo does hold up.
That's actually just some good freaking story because and I'm always like, he knows from the very beginning. He's just messing with everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Kojak
watching a
holds up,
series
too.
now called The Unit, which is just incredible. It's about a super secret unit of military officers. It was created by David Mamet, and it stars Dennis Haysbert and a couple other great actors. And every show is just riveting. I don't see how they do it. They hop from country to country: Pakistan, Thailand, Australia, Brazil, and you
What
could
channel?
swear they're there when they film it.
What channel is it?
I was in the pawn shop a couple weeks ago, and I picked up the first season for $1.
Oh,
And then
Oh, is that with Max Martini, Mike?
It might be. I'd have to look at the cast because it's not a well-known cast. They
It's
have
got
some. Who is? I can't think of that guy's name, but they have
The
some.
big guy from the insurance commercials, right?
Dennis Haysbert. Dennis
Yeah,
Haysbert.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Haysbert.
Yeah, that was on a few years ago. That's a cool TV show.
Yeah, I
From
can't stop
2006.
watching.
I fast forward through all the women stuff, and then just watch the guys, and they're getting ready for their missions.
Oh, you skip the soap. It's quality soap.
You know what?
Yeah,
holds up
I
pretty well.
fast right through that.
If you actually go back and look at the entire Wonder Woman show with Linda Carter was garbage.
Oh yeah,
But the pilot episode, the opener. I don't know what this is, Billy. You're gonna like this.
I love this music too.
Oh yeah.
In this dark summer of
I haven't seen any of this.
the onslaught of the Third Reich continues under the leadership of this
Paul Frees.
corrupt man. His overtrained and blindly obedient army continues to ravish what is left of free Europe, while Il Duce grasps for his place as this wicked Axis tries to dominate the world. President Roosevelt and Prime Minister Churchill gather the Allies in defense of the free world. The third Axis power plunders across the Pacific. Mankind is being threatened by these despicable villains. The only hope for freedom and democracy is...
Nice. Isn't that the shit?
Awesome.
That just has me smiling ear to ear.
All the world's waiting for you.
On and on.
And the power you.
But I mean, I just love that. I love it. The newsreel and FDR just being like, the only hope for freedom and democracy is Wonder Woman. My God.
Wasn't it like that first season? It was during World War II, but then they updated it, didn't they? To try and get ratings better or something.
Yes.
Yeah. and just cut costs because then they
cut costs probably.
Yeah.
See, Craven could learn a thing or two from that opener. I think.
Yes, I think you're right.
It's just so perfect, man. I mean, DC Comics stuff is just so over the top and so wonderful. And the World War II era stuff was just so great when they were producing this rah-rah American propaganda. It was just a great time for comics in general. And now we're stuck with Ezra Miller as the Flash, who could not do that. I mean, they could not create that kind of feeling or mood. I mean, that's so old and it's not very, like, it doesn't really hold up in terms of, but even still, I'm watching it and I'm smiling. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see Wonder Woman punch El Duce in the face. And like, I'm just so excited about it. This is awful. And it's great because, sorry, it sucked, Rob. This movie sucked. It was so bad. Ezra Miller's performance was embarrassing. It did not resemble a Flash that I've ever seen in my life. And I used to work on him. He's not Wally. He's not Barry. He's not even fucking Bart Allen. He is just a piece of shit. He's Ezra Miller dressed like the Flash, essentially. Michael Keaton was great, but I mean, even Michael Keaton seemed embarrassed to be acting next to Ezra Miller. This movie was rescued from the scrap heap by David Zaslav, who had already invested the previous administration invested $200 million in this piece of shit. And he decided he better talk it up, and everybody's going to say how great it is, and it's a hidden gem, and they're going to release it and try to swindle and scam some of their money back. This is a grift. This is the definition of a grift, because I really did believe that this was probably pretty good. They fooled me. All the hype around it, like, no. I'm like, no, it looks like a piece of shit, and Ezra's terrible. Like, Ezra's a creep, man. There's no way he could ever be a superhero like the Flash. No, Ethan, you're going to be surprised. Like, really, the reviews are coming in and the advanced screenings, and everybody's talking.
Who is this person?
What a grift. This is everybody. Everybody was saying this. And just to protect the opening weekend of this piece of shit movie, everybody was lying and gaslighting and pretending this was actually like some hidden gem. I was expecting to see Gone with the Wind, and I mean, after all the hype that I received, this was an embarrassing flop. The saddest part of it was that, you know, they go back and reference a lot of great DC stuff. You get to see Christopher Reeve resurrected from the dead. It's kind of spooky. Some CGI ghoulish.
All I want to know is, did they bring in the Tim Burton Batman with what's his name? Or Superman?
Superman, yes.
Can I add some spoilers? What I heard?
Yeah.
If wasn't Linda Carter in it too at the end? Or
Nope.
She was in something else then.
She was not in this. I was expecting her. I also heard Adam West was in this. I did not see him.
Yeah, they just showed him on the circling multiverse planet.
Maybe like really quick.
Yeah.
That's
That's
exactly something as Wonder Woman. They were telling me. Somebody was telling me at the show this weekend, and I don't remember what it was.
People were saying
it was like
Linda,
a cameo.
Maybe she was in there, Billy, but I didn't see her, and she wasn't prominent. Like Nicolas Cage gets a good 5, 6, 7 seconds of screen time where he's fighting a giant spider as Superman.
No, really?
Yeah.
What about George Reeves? Did they do anything?
He's in there in black and white for a minute.
Really?
Superman. Yeah.
Oh, that's the best Superman. I love him.
You get about a 3-second cameo of George Reeves, then you get a really beautiful, meant to give you goosebumps, but it's kind of spooky shot of Christopher Reeve with what's her name, Supergirl, Helen Slater as Supergirl, and they kind of land together, and you're like, whoa. You know, and then they cut to Nicolas Cage.
What was it that made it so damn bad then? What, was it him? Ezra Miller?
Yeah, Ezra Miller. Really, I can't tell you. The movie tries to be funny. Like I said, they try to make him into a Pauly Shore, fast-talking wisecracker who doesn't shut his mouth.
Oh, geez.
It's really awful. And then when there are two of them on screen, it's awful. Supergirl in this is an oppressively hostile, morose lesbian who, at no point does she exude any charm. Let me see. What is this? Here's
I just wanted to. I just looking.
Is that how he looked?
Nick Cage.
Yes.
His chest is not like that. He looks like
he was in that costume.
Yeah.
Oh, it was CGI. It was a CGI Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
But the hair.
I know.
the
Oh, I
hair.
know. I'm just saying it was that design.
Yes, the long hair and everything.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Oh my God.
Can't understand why they didn't greenlight it.
I know.
It's weird because when you see it, though, you're kind of like, oh, that's neat. Like, because it just seems like an alternate reality version of Superman with Nicolas Cage. His eyes glow red and he's firing like eye lasers at the giant spider. And, you know, I mean, I think that might have been what Nicolas Cage said that what Tim Burton said he wanted to do with it, like a giant spider invasion.
Yeah,
But,
someone told me it was supposed to be like a Brainiac giant.
Yeah,
spider.
right.
I don't know what that meant, but I guess it was in the original plot for the
Model
original script.
T101 says, I wish you guys would do your research. That's not the final suit. No, that's not what he was wearing in the movie. Yeah, he was wearing a classic Superman suit.
I'm just looking for the essence of Nick Cage Superman.
It was similar to that. Yeah, he had the long hair, you know, and all that stuff. And I don't know.
Did he have the necklace that he's got there?
Yeah.
Every
think
fifth
so.
Nick Cage movie is good.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
true.
think
I
so.
like a lot of
20%.
Nick Cage.
That's pretty good.
I'll tell you this: nobody's laughing. Like when you see it, you're not laughing. You're going, "Oh, that's what it was going to be. That's not so bad." You know, it's pretty good. They did him. They weren't making fun of him in the movie. They did him. They did right by him in the movie.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Anyway, Flash is incredibly awful, and that is the problem here. Let me see. Ezra Miller's Flash completely crashed and burned. I love bounding into comics. Thank you for this language, John F. Trent. No subtlety at all, no nuance. Completely crashed and burned during its open weekend at the box office, bringing in less dough than even the worst projections predicted.
Wow.
Yeah, like it's really it's great that the Flash goes back in time to meet Zod in a timeline in which nobody could have stopped Zod. It was impossible. Like that's really wonderful. That's ultimately what this is about.
You know, you notice the language there, though. Like they were already thinking it was going to be a flop. I mean, worse than expected. So they were already thinking it was going to flop.
Yeah.
Flopping too.
Yeah. Hold on.
Listen, you guys, I got to bail.
Bye, Mike.
My
All right,
pumpkin is
later,
here.
Mike.
The
Hey, just
pumpkin
make
is here.
bail?
Yeah.
You got to
I
make
gotta
bail.
make bail. I gotta make
Gotta make
bail.
bail.
That's what I thought he said. I gotta make bail.
Take care, brother. All right, so this is what it looked like, and I don't know if you haven't seen it yet. Maybe I can buy you a ticket, as it were, if you'd like to watch this. It's going around. Tickets are going around. They're being passed around. That's how I saw it. I was gifted a ticket by Yellow Flash.
Nice.
The film was originally predicted by box office tracking to bring in between 115 million and 140 million in its opening weekend. The outlet would significantly reduce its predictions closer to the Flash got to its release date on June 14th. They thought maybe it'd bring in 60 to 80 million. Specific number of 69.
Yeah.
And what was the,
Yeah,
what was
guys.
the production cost?
Yeah.
What was
Hang
the production cost?
200 million
200 million.
to produce it, and then of course, look, another 200 million to
Market.
market it.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
even after the Thursday night previews for the film clocked in at 9.7 million, they still thought the film would bring in at least 60 million in its opening weekend. 9.7 million its opening day. Box Office Pro was not the only news outlet to predict the film would have a far greater opening weekend than it did. Hollywood Reporter said it's going to be like 70 million. Deadline. I love how
What
they're
did it
rubbing
end
this
up
in.
bringing in? What was the numbers?
I think we're saving it till the end.
Oh,
According
okay.
to the numbers, the film brought in 55.1 million at domestic theaters. Did another
my
75 million international. A global total of 130.1 million.
Whoa.
That
Terrible.
drop off is going to be huge.
Yeah.
They lost
I mean,
$300
how
million.
much? I mean, obviously the news of Ezra Miller's gotten out, but how much of this is just? I don't care about seeing a Flash movie. You know, to your average normie out there, it's like, the fuck am I going to see a Flash movie for? You know,
right?
You think that has a lot to do with
They
it?
said nobody wants to see a Flash movie, so let's stick all these Batmans and Supermans and Wonder Woman.
Right.
in it.
Right. That's exactly
Yeah.
why they're there, because
Yeah.
no one wants to see a Flash movie.
especially gay flesh.
Yeah.
And he is gay. Like, he's very gay. And the thing is, like, there's this weird subtext. Like, I always wanted to tell Ezra Miller to go fuck himself. Well, in this movie, he could and probably would. He is flirting with himself. He is grooming his 18-year-old self here, and they bicker like a gay couple, and it is really disturbing. The whole thing is thoroughly
And that's not an
unpleasant.
accurate 89 Batman costume. I'm sorry. That's just not accurate.
No,
he had a lot of costumes, though. Yeah, he had a lot of
Well, no, but
Oh.
Ethan, you saw the movie. He's not from 89. He's aged and stuff, right? In that,
Yeah. Yes, a little bit.
But he's
you're
the
not-
89 Batman years later in his own timeline, though, right? Like,
right.
Yeah, he opens
Okay.
up his closet, and he's got like 9 different Batman suits, and they're all different. So he chose one here to fight with. And-
They explained it as once you mess with time, it messes up stuff in the future and it messes up stuff in the past. That way they could do anything they wanted with the time. They could have, Batman
except shelve the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they already killed the Batgirl movie, so they probably didn't want to, throw this one away too.
Well,
How bad must that have been? That they're willing to swallow. What was it? That was like a $200 million
150, I think,
picture,
wasn't it?
70. They spent $70 million on the Batgirl film, and it was unfinished. So it would have been $150 million. It probably would have been $150 million at least, maybe $200 million completely. And they knew that was just they were flushing that down the toilet if they released it.
Wow. How bad does that have to be?
After they sold CW, they said that CW never made money, even during Smallville, when Smallville was like one of the #1 TV shows. CW.
I mean, from all them ad sales though, and the reruns and all that, they still like not making any kind of money.
Yeah, they said CW network never made money.
Lucas said Star Wars never made money too.
As he sits on that giant pile of cash. He said it was all about the toys, right?
Yeah, it wasn't the
vertical
It
integration.
was the toy sales.
Yeah, it was probably all merchandise.
I think he's like all of us come every April. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't make any money. You kidding me?
I was kidding.
All right. So the movie, anyway, Michael Keaton's performance was great, though. It really is, and I would like to just take it out and take him out of the movie and just watch him as Batman. The great thing about it is that
there's a movie for that.
They're able to do things with the Michael Keaton Batman character that they were not able to do in 1989. Like, he's fighting like Batman. They made him a lot more agile.
Can he turn his neck? That's
he's kicking ass. Like, he really is kicking ass in this, like in a very convincing way that makes him look like Batman, as opposed to the sort of Darth Vader stiffness that he had in like 89, So really, really, really good stuff. It's just embarrassing that it had to be in this movie. And the movie itself is just doomy. I mean, it's like there's no hope. There's no reason why he went back in time. And by the way, at the end of the day, like, if you really examine what the movie is saying, the movie is basically saying that Barry Allen killed his own mom, according to the timeline here. It wasn't.
Yeah, he had to sacrifice her. Yep.
Well, no, the Reverse Flash. Yeah, the Reverse Flash, it doesn't exist in this. There's no Professor Zoom. What killed the Flash's mom was Barry Allen. This is fucking stupid. So turns out it was his fault. Fine, I'll blame him for that too. This terrible opening weekend makes the film one of the worst performing DCEU films to date. It only bests Wonder Woman 1984, which was no.
No, my dog. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. No, that's not true. Oh God, you get to see lots of images of Ezra Miller with tomato sauce on his face and eating, and this is all. I blame Mike Barron for this, by the way.
That's what his thanks was.
Yeah, Mike Barron is the guy who decided. I don't want to yell at Mike. I'm sorry that he left. Mike Barron, he's the guy who said the Flash has to eat a lot of calories. Like, that was his contribution to the
Right, he would eat all the pizzas and stuff. Yeah,
in order to keep running and burn those calories. So Ezra Miller's constantly jamming burritos into his face, and it's like CGI. His cheeks puff out and everything, and he's eating spaghetti, and it's getting all over the place. And it's like, God, help me get this satanic film off my TV screen.
Yeah, that was a major plot of like what, the first 15 minutes? That he's really hungry and he's trying to save people and he's starving. You blame that on Mike.
He's saving falling babies. A baby hospital blows up and it's a baby shower. Babies are in midair. So he's got to go climb up the building and at super speed and rescue all the babies, but he's got to eat food. It's like a video game that's also falling. He opens a microwave and there's a burrito in there. So he shoves the burrito in his face before he even grabs the first baby. He eats the burrito out of the microwave. It's absolutely disgusting. And then he puts a baby in the microwave to protect the baby from fire that's falling down.
Oh, and Speed Force. Was that in the comic, Ethan? That he can't carry people around with Speed Force?
No, I think he
can do that.
No, he does it all the time. Yeah.
He did it in the TV show all the time.
Yeah, in the movie they explained it that he couldn't do it. He couldn't move anybody with Speed Force for long, like only for a few seconds at a time.
That makes sense to me. Like he moves his younger self out of the way, I think, and it makes his younger self vomit green diarrhea out of his mouth
for like 5 minutes.
Like, what happened? I had to move you away from the bullets. That makes sense to me, but.
Yeah. All I can picture is that scene from Heat with Al Pacino talking about going in on that guy who like stuck his baby in the microwave. You want me to share my stories? You know? The connotations in that, you know, it's like, damn.
Next is
you're not gonna watch my fucking TV.
Yeah.
The chat can't believe it. They think I'm lying about him putting a baby in the microwave. I'm not lying about that. He does do that. And by the way, there's no reason why. See, I have to remind people all the time. Like I'd be like, yeah, he put a baby in the microwave, and they'll go, yeah, but it's because there was fire falling and there was a microwave and he had to protect the baby. Listen, this didn't happen, assholes. This movie didn't happen. This is not real events. Some asshole writer wrote that scene. They arranged it so that they thought it would be funny to put a baby in the microwave. Like that's the thing. Like this isn't like, well, he had no choice. No, somebody put him in that scenario.
Yeah,
right? They thought it would be amusing to put a baby in the microwave. That is somebody's sick joke. And by the way, you know, for the superhero entertainment media industry, we had Herbie the Robot because, you know, we used to think kids would see that and they follow the Human Torch's example and they might light themselves on fire. Hey, we're not worried about kids putting their little baby brothers in microwaves, are we? I mean, that's we're not worried about that now.
They're doing far worse now. So yeah.
Oh my God, it's so disgusting. You know, you talk about pedo wood and like perverts and pedophiles being in Hollywood. Seriously, that is a symptom of that. Like no sane human being who has kids of their own would think it was funny to put a baby in the microwave.
Hey, Benny Hill reminds us of the Gremlins scene with the microwave. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They stick the gremlin in the microwave and it explodes.
See, that's funny. But see, that's the thing. Like, that's what comes to mind when you think about putting a baby in the microwave. Let's turn it on and explode a human infant. These are people who, like, ritually sacrifice the young to Baal. Or who's the god that Aaron Leprosy knows us? Who's the pedophile?
Schwarzenegger. No.
The god.
Spielberg. Oh.
Moloch.
Right. How goes your movie deal?
Moloch. That was a sacrifice to Moloch.
Yeah,
the
from the Bible. I thought you were making a Star Trek reference there to Vol from Star Trek episode. Graham knows Vol hungers. You must feed Vol.
So true. Anyway, so this movie is evil. He explained that's what happens when you put hundreds of millions of dollars into projects you don't care about. When you put hundreds of millions of dollars into projects that you allow to have terrible stories, that you allow to have, in the case of the movie The Flash, the worst visual effects that have ever been put to film when it comes to movie costing this amount of money. When you're spending $200 million, and I don't buy for a second of that being the final production cost of this movie, there were rumors or speculation that some people say the film is closer to $300 million. That would not surprise me whatsoever. But even at $200 million, these effects are inexcusable. Just how poor these effects are actually done. He explained. The babies look terrible, by the way, in the microwaves.
Not only is that horrible, it was a terrible effect.
They did a terrible job at it.
Didn't even look real.
I mean,
do it right.
Yeah, it looks like they got the costume right. finally.
Well, it looks like it's rubber.
Yeah,
You
they got
what?
closer to it.
Looks like the 90s Flash costume. Remember that one?
Yeah. Yeah.
You would think that if
With
you're
the
going to
fake
spend
muscle?
200 to 300 million on a movie, that you'd go out of your way to make sure it was good, because you have so much money to lose if it isn't.
Show me an
And
example of that happening recently.
Yeah, they don't care.
That hasn't happened in freaking 10, 15 years.
This baby in the microwave scene, I seriously do think it's a. I think it's a sacrifice to Moloch. I'm pretty sure it is. I don't mean to sound crazy, but it is pretty weird that they would do that, right?
It wouldn't surprise me. Not in this day and age.
Yeah.
Hoping for those ticket sales.
I liked the
baby in the
90s Flash television show, but I was a kid. Or was it
Oh,
no
yeah.
the 80s? Who was that guy?
I was a
that played-
kid.
You were a
John,
kid.
John
was
Wesley,
90s.
no, John Wesley Ship.
was
Wasn't that in the
90s.
80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 80s.
Yeah.
Was it? I thought it was the early
80s.
90s.
80,
wow.
89,
No, I was young.
87. Yeah. What? You were young?
I had hair. Yes.
Someone in
And-
the chat called you Lopax, and that you could be our you could be our Lex Luthor of COMICSGATE. Lopax. Lopax.
See, it was 1990. They're saying in the chat. So there.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
that's
was
what I
right
thought.
again.
Was it 90?
Well, I was still in my late 20s. So, you know.
Still had
We got a new
hair.
backer
Younger
for
than
Wraith of
your
God
child.
Blood Hunters. Now hold on,
Word.
let me
Right.
show Aaron Lepresti's Wraith of God Blood Hunters, gentlemen. Let's do a little business here. Aaron Lepresti's Wraith of God Blood Hunters, live right now on Indiegogo. We just got another backer for that. Thank you
Yes,
very
thank you so much, you guys. And it's if you want, if you like a little monster action, a little horror action, a little superhero action, a little Western action. Hey, let's face it, true believer, this one's got it all. And it's in a nutshell,
Chips,
it's
chains,
a-
and whips.
yeah, it's kind of a Batman of the Old West. You got this monster hunter with this wagon that's just traveling Batcave, if you will. His Alfred is Esther, a former I can't even remember my own story. Isn't that terrible?
Hey, getting old.
Great.
But anyway, so they
Did you
traveled
read the
away.
script before you started drawing?
Yeah,
it?
I know. It's like,
Okay.
well, you know, Kelsey, you know, streaming with me regularly, how my mind is gone. I can't think of anything anymore. When I try to start to speak, I'm like, what's that guy's name? Oh, you know, the guy who did the stuff. Salvation Army. She's a former Salvation Army.
Oh,
worker.
okay.
But I'm
Your name is
Pull it out,
Loki.
Aaron. Way to pull it out.
Oh,
Aaron,
my
are you
God.
saying that Batman's Alfred blew Batman like Esther does to the Wraith?
I'm not saying that at all. That doesn't happen.
Well, you
This is
said
a-
that Esther's like Alfred to Batman.
Well,
Did Alfred blow a
are you-
Batman? What?
What are you trying to say, Andy?
No, I'm saying that Alfred
Dude.
blow
Only in Andy's
whatever.
special drawings.
Wraith
This
of
is-
God. No.
Yeah,
Wraith of
that's
God.
right. How do we get down this rabbit hole?
I don't know.
I don't know, but let's get out again. Wraith
But
of God,
it's 100
beautiful.
pages. It's got 3 backup stories to go along with a 53-page Wraith of God story. There's some of the artwork right there, some really cool stuff. Kind of feels like a Hammer vampire film for those of you who are fans of the old Hammer 60s films. So, Brides
There
of
you go.
Dracula.
That's
Ooh,
how
I love
you know
that
your audience.
That's
Mention
right.
stuff
Trading
from the
card art,
60s.
you know.
That's
right.
awesome.
If you guys are as old as me, you'll really like this comic. Oh.
Yeah, it's beautiful artwork, and obviously it's there's a lot of story, and it's just great. So I hope you guys who backed the first one will back the second one, and if you haven't backed the first one, it is available here on this campaign. You can get both of them and kind of get caught up with the whole story. Let me see, is it at the bottom? Where it is here? Wraith of God, Blood Hunters cover C A. Oh, is it not available?
Bisley cover?
It's in alphabetical order.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. Anyway, where can I find if I want to back Aaron? If I want to back both of them, issue 1 and 2, where do I go?
Well, I'm going to put up a perk this week on here so you can get both books, but you can also just email me or message me on one of the social media sites that I'm active on, or you can email me at aaron@aaronlepresti.com and just say, hey, I want a copy of the first issue, the second printing, which has an all new cover to it. So it's highly collectible as well. And I've got extra copies of those you can buy directly from me. Or like I said, I will be putting up a perk here in a couple of days for both.
Right now, he's selling them under the table.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, I'm fulfilling the second chance campaign, and once that's fulfilled, then I'll use the extra copies to sell either on my through the website and through this campaign as well.
Yeah, the second chance campaign for issue 1 is closed already, so
yes,
it's no good. All right, so also we've got Andy Smith's Kordrath, The Reckoning.
Yes.
Our boy Andy Smith just hit 81,000.
All right, thank you guys.
Oh, you should have called it The Reckoning, like he's wrecking stuff.
Oh, he will be wrecking stuff.
The Reckoning.
Oh, trust me, he's wrecking stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
Wrecking
And
ass.
76 pages of fun barbarian action along the lines of Game of Thrones, Conan, and little Dungeons and Dragons thrown in there, magical type of stuff going on. Read the first 11 pages here, or go to coredraft.com and read the first 8 here, or go to coredraft.com to read the first 11, because one of those pages is a little spicy. We'll say. Coredrath and Adriana are relaxing after a hard day of work.
Oh, I see. Wrecking stuff. I read you. Yeah.
Yeah, he's wrecking something. All right.
Wonderful. All right. So back Kordrath right here, back at tonight. Appreciate it. The link is actually pinned to the top of the chat, guys. So we made it easy for you. All right, let me see. We got Odinson 99M who says Batman literally just saw Supergirl in quotes because wino blonde hair punch a missile. So why would Batman think it was a good idea to fist fight a Kryptonian with zero preparation? These are all good questions. Yeah, the real Batman would certainly have a plan or come up with a plan and not just rush into battle and get stomped on, which is unfortunately. You'll see. It's a shame. People said, I don't understand. Like, after seeing this movie, they go, how could Michael Keaton's Batman even be in the Batgirl movie? Another good question. I guess just an alternate reality or something like that. But
they don't even care anymore. They don't even. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they're just throwing it at the wall to see if it sticks.
Yeah.
Kelsey, Jack Kirby, are you a fan?
Oh yeah.
You are? You like Jack Kirby?
Yeah, I do. I'm still kind of getting into his work, but yes, I love Jack Kirby. Why is that a problematic? Is it problematic to like Jack Kirby?
No, it's just interesting because I wish Shane Davis was here to answer this too, because Shane Davis hates writers and thinks that writers are credit hogs. I guess Jack Kirby did too. And there's a whole thing here where there's a new documentary on Disney Plus about Stan Lee, and Neil Kirby, who is Jack Kirby's son, is sticking up for his dad. I hope my son does this one day. He'll stand up for me and say, listen, these people, my dad was a visionary.
He saved so many frogs. Yeah.
He rescued frogs live on camera. He rescued frogs that accidentally wandered into his basement. Jack Kirby's son, Neil Kirby, responds to Stan Lee Disney Plus documentary. Jack Kirby co-created Captain America with Joe Simon in 1940 for what would become Marvel Comics, also creating the romance comics genre after fighting in World War II. He basically lived the life that Billy Tucci wanted to live.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ding.
Billy would trade places with Jack Kirby in a heartbeat.
Who wouldn't? I mean, the legacy this guy leaves. Well, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind.
Wishing death on Billy.
I know Billy's like, whoa.
Here's our friend, another friend of ours.
What's up, Kings?
Art the Bear.
Hey, Art.
Hey,
Dude.
Artie.
Hey, are we getting nuts?
Come
on.
We're talking about let's get nuts. We're talking about Jack Kirby's son, Neil Kirby. I didn't know he had a son, but
I
he
didn't
does.
either. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Does he draw?
Neil Adams Kirby.
No.
He files lawsuits.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
There's more money in it.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. The level of his creation of the Marvel Universe, as opposed to Stan Lee, has been a much debated one. A lawsuit against Marvel and new owner Disney from his family, represented by Mark Toberoff, saw Disney settle for what is believed to be over $30 million.
Whoa.
They have to start suing everybody.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you don't get your check from this Flash movie, you know what to do.
We're suing. Hello, Mr. Toberoff. How this week, Disney Plus broadcast a new documentary about Stan Lee, which initially uses Lee's own narration, telling his life story over the decades. It has been criticized for being a lame infomercial by Rolling Stone magazine, while Decider says it is meager in its insights into Lee's highly publicized disagreements with Kirby and Ditko. It does, however, have an 88% critics rating and an 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes public rating.
Of course it does.
Yeah, people just want to believe the dream. You know, they don't want to listen to how we were tortured. By the way, Quarter Jap Johnny, wow, thanks for $10. Says, Ethan, I received a shipment notification for Cyberfrog 2 today. Looking forward to reading it to my boys. I ordered Fiendish 2 on John's show the other day when she hit 192,000, I believe. Hail CG. Well, thank you, Quarter Jap Johnny. I hope you enjoy Cyberfrog 2. We shipped out a bunch of Wreck Planets this weekend, so we're getting. I put the toys down for a little bit, and I was like, people are like wanting Wreck Planet. Let's get some Wreck Planets out there.
I wasn't paying attention at first, so I thought you were still reading the article when you said Quarter Jap Johnny.
No.
That Kirby quote.
It was a character he created to fight MODOK.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, yeah. So Wreck Planet's out there. We're gonna get more out tomorrow. What is this? As released to social media, the following statement is from Neil Kirby, son of the late Jack Kirby, regarding the Stan Lee documentary biography released earlier this week on Disney Plus. It was posted by Neil's daughter and Jack Kirby's granddaughter, Jillian Kirby. Why don't you marry Jillian Kirby, Kelsey?
Yeah, Kelsey.
Is she hot?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. She's got $30 million now.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah, that makes her hot.
Oh, that's hot.
Oh,
look into it.
She doesn't have a picture of
I'll
herself
look
here.
into it.
I'll say, hey, you busy?
You could be a kept man, Kelsey.
I also draw.
$30 million makes Lori Lightfoot look hot. So
your kids can make millions when I get screwed off my artwork.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Nothing
Let's make
makes
this happen.
Lori Lightfoot look hot.
Oh, hey Kelsey, you want to see her?
Yeah.
I this could be love. Here we go. This is Jillian Kirby.
Wow.
Hey.
Perfect. She's perfect for you, Kelsey. Look at that.
Kelsey.
Look at that.
Yeah, she's got 2 legs, 2 eyes.
Breathes.
She identifies as female.
But you know what? All of her fingers are flat at the end. Kelsey, wow, you could marry this girl. This would be a nice boy. Can you imagine the children, the talented children that you guys would make?
Look at is that Kirby's drawing table there behind her?
I think it is.
Yeah. Wow, you could get
You
that.
could use it. You could draw on that.
Till death do us part. As long as I have
And
the
you'd be
table.
part of the Jack Kirby estate.
I can change my name.
Sue again in
Kelsey.
10 years.
Yeah.
Kelsey estate. Yeah.
I'll be a kept man.
Just know,
Nice.
Kelsey, all the artwork you draw, she'll never return it. She'll keep it.
All right, so let me see here. 13th century Islam. Continue without supporting Bleeding Cool. Thank you. The 13th century Islamic poet Rumi said, "The ego is a veil between humans and God." Well, this is a hell of a way to say fuck Stan Lee. Like, I just say fuck Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Do you have to go into all this? In the Disney Plus documentary bio of Stan Lee, the veil is lifted. Presented in the first person with Lee's voice providing a running narrative, it is Stan Lee's greatest tribute to himself. The literary expression of ego is the personal pronoun I. Any decent English or journalism teacher would admonish their students not to overuse it, so the challenge is extended to anyone who wishes to count the number of I's during the 86-minute running time of Stan Lee. Understand that as a documentary about Stan Lee, most of the narrative is in his voice, literally and figuratively. It's not any big secret that there has always been controversy over the parts that were played in the creation and success of Marvel's characters. Stan Lee had the fortunate circumstance to have access to the corporate megaphone and media, and he used these to create his own mythos as to the creation of the Marvel character pantheon. He made himself the voice of Marvel. So for several decades, he was the only man standing, and blessed with a long life, the last man standing. Because my father died in 1994, and I fucking think Stan Lee killed him, okay? Doesn't say that. It should also be noted, and is generally accepted, that Stan Lee had a limited knowledge of history, mythology, or science. Wow. Dissing Stan Lee.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
that's become the new thing is to just run Stan down and disavow the things he contributed. You wouldn't even be talking about Marvel Comics if it wasn't for Stan Lee.
Right. It is true. But let's continue to kick him while he's dead. Here we go. On the other hand, my father's knowledge of these subjects, to which I and many others can personally attest, was extensive. Einstein summed it up better. More the knowledge, lesser the ego. Lesser the knowledge, more the ego. That's right. That's me. This last part is me. Stupid and big head. If you were to look at a list and timeline of Marvel's characters from 1960 through 1966, the period in which the vast majority of Marvel's major characters were created during Lee's tenure, you will see Lee's name as a co-creator on every character, with the exception of the Silver Surfer, solely created by my father. Oh, I didn't know that. Jack Kirby?
That is true.
That was all Kirby.
Yeah. I did a whole show about how Stan, this is where Stan did he took what was a really interesting character, the way Kirby presented him in Fantastic Four 48, 49, and 50, and then turned him into this weak 50s version of sci-fi of a guy just covered in this stuff, and took away everything alien about him and tried to use him as a metaphor for Christ and explore all these different things. But Kirby created the character. He was a being of pure energy, and he was actually an offshoot of Galactus's energy. He was part of Galactus. So when he doesn't understand what eating is, he doesn't understand what compassion is. It's because he was this creature that was pure energy. But Stan takes him, and he becomes Norrin Rad, who actually has shopping malls and a girlfriend. How is it this guy doesn't understand eating and compassion?
Right?
Yeah, he just ruined him.
Did Kirby create Galactus also?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Co-created. Did he create him by himself though?
No, that one was co-created because they talked about it. About the premise was the Fantastic Four fight God, and so Kirby came up with all the stuff about Galactus and the storyline and everything. And then the Pages came in. The story goes the Pages came in and had this little guy on a surfboard. And who's that? And he says, that's the Silver Surfer. I thought the character needed a herald. So yeah, he created that. The Silver Surfer out of whole cloth.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I mean, if he says the versus God and he comes up with Galactus, it sounds like he created Galactus too, right? I mean,
visuals.
Like
visual, yeah.
Everything about Galactus is pretty much visual, except for the planet-eating part.
I always thought Galactus should have had a big stomach, like a big fat gut.
He's a fat kid.
He has a high metabolism.
That's right. Flash. He's got to eat a lot of planets.
He digests through his brain.
I never liked Galactus. In fact, I hated Galactus. I've always been galactose intolerant. Thank you, breaking pupil, for that terrible joke.
Funny people in the chat.
Yes, very funny people around. All right, so let's get back to kicking Stan Lee, disgracing his memory, calling him a fraud and a huckster. And a thief.
I'm disavowing this. I'm just putting that on record.
Yeah. Listen, this isn't your opinion. This is the opinion of Jack Kirby's son. That's all.
This is Kelsey's new wife.
Yeah, how dare you talk about my wife that way? I will fight you, sir.
Step
What did I miss?
outside.
All right, so here we go. Let's get back to this. Are we to assume that the other co-creator never walked into Lee's office and said, "Stan, I have a great idea for a character"? According to Lee, it was always his idea. Lee spends a fair amount of time talking about how and why he created the Fantastic Four, with only one fleeting reference to my father. Indeed, most comics historians recognize that my father based the Fantastic Four on a 1957 comic he created for DC, Challengers of the Unknown, even naming Ben Grimm Thing after his father Benjamin and Sue Storm after my older sister Susan. Wow.
Love that book, by the way. Challengers.
Yeah.
Great one.
Though the conflict between Lee and my father concerning creator credit gets glanced over with little mention, there is more attention paid to the strife between Lee and Steve Ditko, with Lee's voice proclaiming, "It was my idea, therefore I created the character. The Ditko family, line them up against a wall and hand me a Tommy gun."
About right.
Some doesn't track here, though.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the whole thing, but could this be editing? I mean,
no, it's just I feel like Stan Lee would have said that. Ditko's rebuttal being that his art and storyline is what brought life to Spider-Man. In 1501, the Opera del Duomo commissioned a 26-year-old Michelangelo to sculpt a statue. Why is this guy so pretentious?
Yeah, really. He's rich. He's got $30 million.
I understand that, but it's like you can. Well, in 1501, can you go back? Maybe you could go back to the Stone Age and find a better example. For you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? 1501? You want to bring 1501 into this? Isn't there something from the 1960s? Maybe. No. 1501. There was a similar situation. Jesus. Maybe you've heard of a guy named Michelangelo. He got fucked over too, just like Stanley fucked over my dad. I don't like this dude. I'm giving him all the opportunity I can. I'm sorry to your future wife, who is his daughter, but
she hates her brother too. Don't worry.
No, this is Neil Kirby. This is a shithead. I'm sorry, but he just is. Like, enough of this. The statue, by the way, the statue is called Michelangelo's David. Maybe you've heard of that around the same time that you heard of my father's work, Fantastic Four. His genius, his vision, his creativity. I was very fortunate. My father worked at home in his Long Island basement studio that we refer to as the dungeon, usually 14 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Most of the writers, artists, inkers, etc. worked at home, not in the Marvel offices as depicted in the program. Through middle school and high school, I was able to stand at my father's left shoulder, peer through a cloud of cigar smoke, and witness the Marvel universe being created. I am by no means a comics historian, but there are few, if any, that have personally seen or experienced what I have and know the truth with first-hand knowledge.
Look, Jack Kirby drew for 16 hours a day to drown out the sound of bombs in his psychosis, you know.
Or his kid.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's a little
That's why he
stupid.
stayed in the basement drawing. He's like, "Oh my god!"
Can you imagine what those pages must have smelled like when he brought them into the offices with all the, the cigar smoke and everything while he's drawing all these pages?
They must have been very fragrant.
Yeah.
My father retired from comic books in the early 1980s and, of course, passed away in 1994. Lee had over 35 years of uncontested publicity, much naturally with the backing and blessing of Marvel as he boosted the Marvel brand as a side effect of boosting himself. The decades of Lee's self-promotion culminated with his cameo appearances in over 35 Marvel films, starting with the X-Men in 2000, thus cementing his status as the creator of all things Marvel to an otherwise unknowing movie audience of millions, unfamiliar with the true history of Marvel Comics. My father's first screen credit didn't appear until the closing crawl at the end of the film adaptation of Iron Man in 2008 after Stan Lee, Don Heck, and Larry Lieber. Frauds! The battle for creators' rights has been around since the first inscribed... the battle for creators' rights has been around since the first inscribed Babylonian tablet. It's way past time to at least get this one chapter of literary art history right. Enough said. All right. So that's
has this guy read his father's work when he wrote it himself?
It wasn't good, was it?
It was not good at all.
Well, the thing is, maybe with that $30 million, he should make his own documentary and set the record straight. That's the thing, man. Just get a voice out there that contrasts this. That's why Stan Lee's legacy has lasted all these years. It's because that guy gets out there and he talks.
I'm smelling a bit of bullshit. For one thing, Stan is dead. This is not him. All right. Also, it's in Disney's best interest to have one key figure, the guy that everybody knows, that they can point to. Yeah, that they can point to and not have to deal with their family and all that. It's very easy for Disney. It makes a lot of sense. Plus, Stan for years, I heard nothing but him share credit with everybody. I think he realized that what he had done, and he'd been trying to give it back. I've never heard one interview where he didn't give credit where credit was due.
That's true.
And people forget, Stan was an employee.
Yeah.
He worked for Marvel Comics as an editor and art director. And when things were getting tough on Kirby, he offered him the art directing job at Marvel so that he could have insurance and have benefits as well, and have like a 9-to-5 job. He'd have to come in the way that Ramita did. But of course, Kirby turned that down because it would have stifled his creativity and it wasn't right for him. But it was like Stan was trying to do something for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What about this other alternative version in which Stan Lee is a massive fraud and a thief, the likes of which Bob Kane would actually vindicate Bob Kane? What do you think of that idea? Is that possible? I mean, is there any possibility that could be true?
Not 100%. I don't think.
I mean, there's a little chocolate in your peanut butter. There's probably a little bit of both, Yeah. You don't get to be this kind of guy without being some kind of ruthless. I read Steven Spielberg's biography, and like on the surface, everybody talks about how he's like a Norman Rockwell come to life. Everything's hunky-dory. But if you listen to the guy, he's always talking about his broken home. But I read his biography, and you wouldn't believe how many friendships he burned to the ground to get where he's at. Sometimes you got to be ruthless if you want to like achieve something.
Did his son get? They're suing them for $30 million, or they actually received $30 million?
They received it. Marvel settled.
Wow.
And
they make your own fucking movie.
And also, to be honest, and to be honest, Stan Lee has sued Marvel timeless.
That's right.
Like multiple times to get his money and stuff like that. So even Stan Lee isn't immune from the Marvel kind of backlash. So
That's right.
I think the real bad guy is probably Marvel.
Not to mention they literally bled him dry at the end. Like they literally drained his blood.
Yeah, they did, right? I mean, we talk about that. Like they were basically like stealing his blood. A nurse would come in and go, "We need to take your blood, Mr. Stanley," and they would take his blood and turn it into ink. Like this is what's so disturbing about it. Turn it into ink to sell on high-priced, rare variants of Black Panther comics. Extremely disturbing. But that's just the way it is.
I blame Gene Simmons and Kiss for that blood thing.
Oh yeah, that was their idea, basically, right?
Yeah.
Well, didn't they put Mark Ruhnwald's ashes into the ink of some comics?
Yeah, he wanted
Squadron Supreme trade paperback, I think.
No, okay.
He wanted that, man. Mark Gruenwald was something else. Like he was kind of like a clown. He was a funny guy. He used to prank everybody. He took was it Tom Brevoort that he did this to? They're traveling around everywhere. No, it wasn't Tom Brevoort. Who's the other guy? The other Tom editor from Marvel's 80s.
Tom DeFalco?
DeFalco. He used to prank Tom DeFalco all the time. They'd be traveling and, they'd go through from airport to airport, and they had those scanners, the X-ray scanners. So Mark Grunwald cut out the shape of a revolver and wrapped it in tinfoil.
Oh my God.
Put it in his luggage, DeFalco's luggage.
He'd be swatting people today, man. That guy. Geez.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that wouldn't fly today, but.
So Mark Grunwald was just like, when I die, I want my blood mixed with ink and then put into a reprint of Squadron Supreme. God bless him. That's a guy who loves comics. But you know what?
Kitty comics.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm sorry to Jack Kirby and to Neil Kirby, but why don't you go fuck yourself, Neil Kirby? I'm Stan the Man Lee. Who are you again? Who the fuck are you? So that's, yeah, by the way, Billy, I thought I'd do that. See how that works.
I was just going to say,
Billy the Man.
I love it, dude.
Thank you. Hang on.
I don't know.
Good night.
I go back and forth about that whole thing. Like, in a way, like, I understand writers getting too much credit. We're all like mostly artists here. No, we all are artists here. So
yeah,
we know the writers can be credit hogs, but at the same time, man, it wasn't just that. It was Stan Lee's whole persona that meant so much to everyone.
Yeah, for me, I think it was that it seemed like Stan could have done something for Jack, like later in Jack's life, but didn't. And I it's probably untrue, but that's always how I felt. I always felt like Stan should have done more for Jack.
I mean, a lot of that's probably out of fear, though. Like how much was he afraid of? Like, now that in this corporate run era, he's just a figurehead. He could be thrown out so easily. How much is it worth it to him? I'm sure that he was weighing all this stuff. If I stand up too tall for Jack, I'm going to lose what I got, and I need this.
Because he wasn't getting royalties on all those movies and stuff because they were owned by Marvel. He was an employee.
Yeah.
Where Stan walked away with was a really nice a package, a nice retirement package when they appointed him the emeritus, the chairman emeritus or whatever. So basically he's the front man for Marvel Comics, and then they paid him like over $1 million a year as part of his package. So that's how he made his money, because he was a company guy and he rode that train all the way through. Jack was a freelancer, under work for hire.
Yeah. And Grant, didn't Stan have to sue about that too?
Yeah,
Stan did $1 million. Yeah, you had to sue him.
Yeah, Stan sued Marvel many different times. Like the first Sony Spider-Man movie, Marvel tried to renege on the contract. And so Stan had to take them to court to honor the agreement that was written down and signed. So, I think it's just kind of Marvel's MO, So, and I, like I said, like as far as Stan doing something for Jack, I think it's just something personally I always wanted to see. You know what I mean? Versus the reality of it. Because the reality of it is probably he didn't have as much power as I was giving him credit for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we wanted to see him fight as hard as like Frank Miller did for him. Like I would join the fight. You probably could get something done if you just stand up for us, Jack. Or Stan. You won't lose that job if you're successful in the endeavor. If you all stand together.
Or like Neil for like Kurt Swan and not Kurt Swan, but Siegel and Schuster.
Yeah.
Stanley probably didn't realize how important he was to Marvel, or did he? And he just didn't care. I'll give him the benefit of a doubt and just say maybe he was, he was afraid. But the other possibility is the guy was a narcissist who just didn't care that much about it and really felt that he had created all the characters, and that's just the way it is.
Well, did you ever see that documentary, Searching for Steve Ditko?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
It's fascinating. This British guy, I forget the guy's name. was a big, huge Ditko fan, and he's a big TV personality over in England. And he did this whole thing about Ditko, and he interviewed Stan Lee. And one of the first times I ever saw Stan like drop his guard, you know, because he was talking about how he considers Steve Ditko to be a co-creator of Spider-Man, and that he even wrote a letter saying, I consider Steve Ditko to be the co-creator of Spider-Man. Well, Ditko turned it down and refused it because it says, I consider, instead of saying, you are.
Right.
So he's saying that you're offering opinion. So Ditko denied that thing. And then the guy says, you know, well, do you feel that Steve Ditko is the co-creator? And then Stan really drops his guard and he says, well, I think the guy who comes up with the idea is the creator. And he says, well, what if Steve Ditko didn't draw it and somebody else drew it and it failed? He says, well, then I would have been the creator of a failed project. Fascinating.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's got a point in a way, but
he does have a point. But by the same token, you know, as we work in a visual medium that we are in, the visuals are integral to.
Oh yeah.
Would
character.
she have been as popular as she was if she didn't look cool? If somebody did a fucking shitty design, you know, it's like how much of like she was in her success was based on how great she looked, what a great design she was.
I'd say a lot.
Yeah. Jonathan Ross, that's who it was. Thank you.
And the same thing we said about Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
That's what she had. Is she looked like one of us?
Yeah, that's true.
She'd be a dude.
She never would have got a screen test.
Yeah.
Matt G says they will take Cecil's semen and put it in his comics. It's already in there.
It's already in there.
It's already in there. These pages are stuck together.
Odinson
Everybody that got
99M.
cash grab, take a black light to it.
Oh my god. Thanks for $10. She says, please talk more Mark Grunwald. I'd love to hear the panel's thoughts on Jim Shooter, who I think was huge for Marvel's resurgence and success in the 1980s.
Sure.
Jim Shooter was a tyrant.
What do you guys know about Mark Grunwald? Do you know him? Did any of you know Mark Grunwald?
No.
Yeah, I worked with him. He wrote my first monthly book. He was great. I love Mark. He wrote, I did Quasar for Marvel in '92 for a year. Mark wrote old school plot style, you know, so it was just a paragraph. So like a whole script would be on like 5 printed, you know, pages of paper. And
Andy, do something creative here. Yeah.
What's that?
Make this look good, Andy. Draw something good here.
Well, I mean, you know, it was the old school style, and he was great to talk to on the phone about the scripts and stuff. And yeah, I mean, he was really a good guy, really positive, because he knew it was my first monthly book, but he wasn't the editor, even though he was an editor at the time. You know, in other books, I was hired by Mike Rockowitz to actually draw it. And yeah, he was just really supportive. And I mean, the guy knew his stuff for sure. I mean, he was an encyclopedia. So
he loved comics so much. I saw an interview with his wife where she said that when he was let go, I mean, eventually Marvel makes all of these people redundant, you know, all of us redundant. So when he was let go, it hurt him so deeply. She really felt that he died of a broken heart from not being able to work for Marvel Comics.
I didn't know he got fired from Marvel. I thought he died while working there.
No,
yeah, so did I.
No, he was fired. He was let go, and yeah, she said they're killing me. You know, he used to just be like, you know, really upset about it. So,
so Marvel killed him.
Yes,
he killed him. Marvel killed him.
Yeah, there's some
Just
people
like
who
Jack
love
Kirby.
comics so much that it's like, and just love to work in comics that. When they become, I wish COMICSGATE was around. Mark Grunwald would be here and we'd be making comics together. But, you know, back then it's like you get shut out of comics and you're shut out of comics. So what are you going to do but just watch from the outside while everybody else gets to make comics and you feel excluded? And it did. It, like, apparently, according to his wife, it completely broke his heart. And she feels like that's what killed him. So
hashtag comics
broke. I know I was going to say that we should start a hashtag comic books broke me.
Oh, Marvel. Hashtag Marvel killed.
But see, all of those people are complaining because they feel entitled to more money and benefits.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't think Mark Gruenwald was having those problems. I think he just loved making comics so much that it's not that he didn't feel like he was getting his fair share. He just wanted to keep making comics. That's amazing. Like, where are those people now? And don't stop me from making comics. I just want to be able to make comic books. So God bless him. Everybody loved him. He was funny. He was warm. I never got to meet him. I just heard a lot of great stories about him, and it's interesting. Andy got to work with him, so
every year on his I think it's on his the anniversary of his death. Mike Carlin always posts these like really heartfelt things on Facebook. And those two were really, really tight. And I know that Mike was fired from Marvel as well. And I know that Mike, it really hurt Mike. Like, because he loved Marvel.
It was Mike Carlin that told me the story about the pistol-shaped cardboard. I was like, who told me that story? It was Mike Carlin. Yeah, he loved Mark Gruenwald. Loved him.
Mike Carlin just retired, man. He just finally gave it up. Yeah.
That's good for him, man. I'm glad that like DC kept him around until he was ready to, just stop. So good.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen for everyone.
No.
Stanley, the art of the swoop, says Internet Guy. All right. So anyway, I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. I guess there's going to be some bitterness between, Ditko's family, Kirby's family, and Stan Lee, who did get the line share. Everybody knows who Stan Lee is. Nobody knows who Jack Kirby is, really. But the world, like, Stan Lee is the only superstar. Do you disagree, Aaron?
No, I was going to say, but I think it makes sense because it's what Graham said earlier, that Stan worked for Marvel. So Stan was representing that company all the time. And it was in the best interest of Marvel that Marvel created these characters, and not to give that a lot of credit to the freelancers. I mean, that makes sense from a company standpoint. So Stan was basically doing his job that he was paid to do. And I don't know that you can necessarily fault the guy for that. It's easy for us to sit there and say, well, he should have been loyal to Jack. He should have been loyal. Well, he was loyal to the company. I mean, it was his uncle, right, who owned Marvel to begin with, so it was a family affair. He ran the company for a long time and was the face of the company after that. And it was his job. He got paid to make Marvel look good. That was his job. So
that's always the double-edged sword.
Right.
He's a corporation guy. He's a company guy, but he's also a creative guy. So he's in the trenches with the freelancers, but at the same time, he's beholden to, the corporation and the company. And that's got to be, a fine wire to try to walk.
Also, people forget that he was not only a writer of that stuff, but he was the editor and the art director. Yeah. And at the time, he was juggling all these things. So he didn't have the time to write the full scripts because of all those other things he had to do. And you talk to anybody that worked with him, guys like Romita and Roy Thomas, tell you he was one of the hardest working guys you'll ever meet. In fact, Denny O'Neil told us the time that when they had that blackout in New York, and nobody could get any stuff done. When the power came back on, Stan came back in with like 5 different scripts that he had written with wax on it because he wrote them by candlelight.
Wow, that's great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
So the man worked hard, and he had an incredible sense of story, and how to fix things and break things down and make them better. So yes, Kirby and Ditko were the creative ends. They had the great ideas and they pushed all that stuff. And it shows when they left the kind of stories Stan wrote. But by the same token, when you read their work without Stan, it's terrible. It's high concept stuff that you can't, the characters don't connect with anybody.
It's too dense.
Well,
I mean,
people used to criticize. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying the truth lies somewhere in the middle. They both made the product what it was. You know, they
Right.
they both contributed to how
That's
great
right.
it was. So yeah.
But that's
People
what
used to be
bugs
very-
me is that people are taking these people that have never known these men, who have never worked with them, are taking sides almost the same way that America is with politics now. You know, you're on this side or you're in that side. You're in this camp or this camp. You can't just admit that Kirby did great things, but he also did great things with Stan Lee, you know, and vice versa. And Stan did great stuff with John Romita, you know, and Stan did great stuff with John Buscema. That's not Kirby and Ditko, you know. I mean,
And the creative process is what they were doing was very informal too. So they were just making it up as they went along. So you know, like Disney's got minutes, like when you pitch things and they log everything, so they know who threw this out there, who put this, you know, so they know creatively who did what. But these guys were just making things up monthly. We've all worked in the trenches. You're working so fast. You just go with the idea. You work, you know, you worry about the business side later. You know, like you're just trying to put out that fire, that creative fire that's in front of you, and try to keep moving forward. So these guys were just creatively making stuff up, and they were throwing things back and forth. I can just imagine how it went. And it's like, well, who did what? Who can keep track of that?
You had 30 days. You had 30 days to bang this thing out, and then you got to come up with another one.
Yeah, for the next month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people, I mean, I talked to people that were very critical of George Lucas because, you know, Ralph McQuarrie is really the guy who created Star Wars. I'm like, well, he may have designed all the ships, but George Lucas created the opportunity for Ralph McQuarrie to draw those ships. And it was George's idea and concept that these guys took and developed and made it what it was. So you can't minimize one guy's contribution over the other just because you're a visual artist and everybody can grab onto it and say, oh yeah, Kirby designed the Fantastic Four. Well, maybe Stan had a lot to do with getting Jack's mind going in a direction, you know, or Ditko's or whatever with Spider-Man.
Or focusing the mind, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't.
My favorite George Lucas is was it Joe Johnston? He's like, we need this ship and make it look like a hamburger. And it was like, I mean, it does. It looks like a freaking flying hamburger, man.
I mean, if George Lucas ripped off anybody, it wasn't Ralph McQuarrie. It was that French dude, right? That did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
well, that and Alex Raymond. He ripped off us.
He just
Flash
rearranged
Gordon.
it.
Well, Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, you know, like all that stuff. It's
But see, that's the problem. George Lucas did it right. He took all the things that he loved, he remixed it into something new. Whereas now they would just make a remake of Flash Gordon.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think he did the right thing, honestly.
Yeah, it's a tribute.
200 Watt Studios says absolutely love Grunwald's Captain America run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was cool. Yeah, that was good. Kieran Dwyer was drawing it then, and he was really good.
Oh yeah, love Kieran. Yeah.
Oh man, he worked with Kieran Dwyer, Rick Levins, Dave Hoover, a lot of different guys. Because Mark was on it for like 10 years, I think.
Yeah, Ron Lim. Wasn't Ron Lim on Cap?
Yeah, Ron.
Ron Lim.
Yeah.
Did we get some
that's
covers from Mike Zeck or no? Was that during Grunwald's run?
Yeah, there were some Mike Zeck covers on it.
Ooh, I remember those.
I believe so, yeah.
Real Sean Crummell says, love when you guys nerd out about comics.
Nerds.
Nerd
That's
out.
what I decided.
This is our intellect. We're comic book intellectuals.
We're very smart people.
We're very
Speak for
smart
yourself.
Yeah, that's kind of what I decided the King Show is going to be from now on. All the topics are going to be on brand comic books. We're going to have topics every week, and this is what we're going to discuss. And they'll be goofy, but we're definitely going to do that. And speaking of which, I want to remind people to go back Wraith of God Blood Hunter. So we just got a new background in the comic book, and also Cord Wrath, The Reckoning by Andy Smith. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. That's the book we're trying to get to move. And so if you back Cord Wrath, The Reckoning tonight, thank you very much. I mean, we'll really appreciate it. We'd like to see Andy Smith get his first six-figure young lady comic book, and that really depends on you guys. I think he's meeting you halfway by providing what looks like one of the greatest barbarian sword and sorcery fantasy comics that I've seen in a long time from the indies. Could you support him in making it? Could you guys make that happen? I'd appreciate it, and so would he.
It needs a Ghost of Metacomba key song, you know, like
Reckoning, Andy Smith.
Feel free to back Ghost of Matacumba Key too, by the way.
Oh yeah, go back Ghost of Matacumba
Guilty
Key.
brought it up.
Of course. Johnny B. Good says, I watched this video of Stan creating Overkill. Oh, that's very funny.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Stan
He was
taking
there.
credit for
The image
Overkill.
stuff, yeah.
You know, why not? All right. So what are we doing here? We're now talking about this next thing. This is this made me happy. This is a positive story, I think, because it signals that maybe the media, the comics media, is coming around a little bit. This was bouncing around a lot of kind of DM threads this morning. CBR, CBR, which was captured by leftists. This used to be a really good site, comic book resources. They had a message board. They had reviews. Rich Johnson was contained to a small column called Lying in the Gutters. And it was really like a go-to site. I remember whenever I would put out a comic book at DC, I'd be like, I can't wait to see the CBR reviews. And there would be a few of them.
I used to like Rich's swipe file. I always check that out.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
He was doing good stuff back then. The swipe file killed me, dude. I was like, how humiliating. Do you remember our friend David Mack and his
That was rough. That was rough.
The best part of that was Brian Bendis was hyping up that issue. Like, you won't believe how great this issue looks, and every single panel was swiped from Adam Hughes and from
That was
no.
that was rough.
Unbelievable. Ronan's review for $10 says, EVS just got Green Lantern, the Sinestro Corps Volume 1 and 2 at my local shop. Picked it up because your name was on it. Any funny stories about making these? Well, I that's the book that I redrew Sinestro to resemble Hitler, and it was immensely popular. I talked to them and I said, I think he should be wearing yellow now because he's got a yellow ring, and I really want to make him resemble Hitler with his demeanor, his haircut, his costume. And they said, really? And I said, yeah, trust me. And I did it, and it was incredible. Sinestro became like the second most popular DC villain overnight, only second to the Joker. It was an incredible run. And it was great. And I was nominated for an Eisner for best penciler and inker team. And it was me, just all by myself. So
you do good work, fellers.
Thanks. I know. I was like, I couldn't believe it. We got to hang out with what's her name from the Go-Go's, the bass guitarist.
Oh, yeah, Jane Wineland.
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah.
Gerard
Jane
Way was
Weedland.
there.
Jane Wyman was an actress. Jane
Weedland.
Weedland.
That's right. Yes, she was Reagan's wife. Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. So that was Sinestro Corps was quite a thing, and I do remember telling everybody. I remember like I finished the book, and I was on a panel at Heroes Con with Dan DiDio and a few others, and they were like, "What are you working on, Ethan?" And I said, "I got this Sinestro Corps one shot. It's Sinestro. It's a one shot about Sinestro. I promise you, you need to get it. It's going to be huge." And people rolled their eyes because it's a Sinestro one shot. It turned out to be like one of the biggest comics of the summer. It was reordered. I think we went through 6 printings of it, and it led to Blackest Night eventually. So
nice.
Yeah, it was a really, really good time for me. The 2000s, from 2004 to 2011, was like a big run for me. So enjoy. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. All right, so this is what we're talking about. CBR really used to be a good site, and it was captured by leftists. Their message board is utterly worthless now. You go there, if you make any mention of Cyberfrog or COMICSGATE, they ban you. They should fucking ban you for it. Just mentioning it. Yeah, like I've been in there. I show up and I say, "Hey, everybody, I'm the artist of Cyberfrog," and they banned me. And by the way, anybody else who mentions it gets banned too. I don't know what goes on over there. We got a lot of pussies. We need a few more wolves.
I was raised by the wolves, ate till they full, run through the night, playing with your life, going against the pack, that's risking your life. Better play it right, yeah, you better play it right. I got loyalty and blood.
What's up,
Over.
Big John.
I created Marvel Comics.
Damn it. You're so young looking too.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's all
sir.
the rage. Keeps me young.
He's drinking that serum that Cap and Nick Fury drink to keep you young. That's what it is.
By the way, when John shows up lately, people in the chat will go, Aru. when they see the wolf thing. So next time you see John, I just want the whole chat to just say Aru for AROOOO, whatever. That's John coming in here. Welcome, John. Thanks for making it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, listen, this is the thing. Like, I'm really annoyed by the comics media. I like I said, I think it's been captured by leftists. It's unfair to conservatives. If you mention Trump, if you mention COMICSGATE, MAGA, anything, they will kick you out of the message board. So you cannot even participate in a discussion about comics. How are comics supposed to get better in any way if people who disagree with leftists are not allowed to participate in the conversation about what's coming out? It's not fair. It needs to stop. This article is interesting from a guy named Timothy Donahue, and I'd like to know more about him. He's black. I clicked on a picture of him. He's a black kid.
Whoa.
So I thought that was pretty cool. And this guy's article today, I know it seems like does that matter? But it kind of does. I don't know why. Look at him. Hold on.
Black is cool now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like he's based. It's like cool, sweet,
He's got a suit on. Look at it. He's all dressed up.
I want to know more about him. I do. Was it University of Tennessee? Okay. Majored in communication, minored in creative writing, professional freelance writer, biotech. Plays video games, reading, watching documentaries, and catching up with the latest electro swing musical releases. This kid is awesome.
Can't wait to basketball in there somewhere.
Yeah. I don't see any basketball. I don't see anything like that. I just see super smart kid wearing a suit, and he might be a conservative who's right. He might be. I'm not saying he is. So don't leave this kid alone. But whatever. This is great. The G.I. Joe reboot will only succeed if it's a patriotic adventure.
No shit.
Agreed.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, obviously, but like saying that is, you're going to get in trouble. A new G.I. Joe movie may be in the works, but it shouldn't avoid the franchise's patriotic past. It should dive right into it, similar to Top Gun.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's speaking some truth there. Look at that.
Holy shit.
How did they even allow this to get on?
You're right. Exactly. How is it on this
site?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's interesting is that, just 2 weeks ago, it was revealed that CBR had to fire like 40% of its staff, a bunch of their writers.
Oh.
They're in debt. They're in real trouble. CBR, the website, is going down. And, a lot of us cheered that.
How many did they lay off?
I think 40%, something
So
like
40 writers for one conservative writer, I guess. He's doing the job of 40 assholes. That's what he's doing.
One has to wonder, like, is he new? I'm not sure. I guess I could look and see what other articles he's written for them in the past, but this is great. He says, not only does Transformers Rise of the Beast continue the rebooted Transformers movie series, but it blah, 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 blah. The film's final moments set up a new take on G.I. Joe. No way.
Yes, it's
G.I.
like
Joe is in
almost
Transformers movie.
It's like an end credit almost type of scene, and they just reference G.I. Joe on like a business card. And,
oh shit!
Yeah, it was a cool surprise though.
That's really good.
Oh, didn't they have a crossover comic that was Transformers G.I. Joe? Didn't Jay Lee draw it?
Yeah, it did really well. I've heard it from a lot of people that it was actually a really good comic. So,
was that IDW?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I don't know who wrote it. Paul Jenkins, maybe. I don't know.
Are they? Are both those properties owned by Hasbro? Are they?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So now
they've been trying to mix these guys for a while.
Yeah, now they're officially in the same universe in the movies. We know they're in the same universe in the comics. They've always been, not necessarily in the cartoon on TV, but now we know that they are in the movies, and they should be, because when I was a kid, it was like G.I. Joe and the Transformers were like the Beatles or the Rolling Stones. You might like both of them, but you're going to prefer one to the other. I was a Transformers kid. I love the Transformers. G.I. Joe was okay. Didn't think it was interesting enough.
I was into both. I had it all.
Couldn't get enough. You like the Beatles and the Stones.
Well, I didn't have a lot of the toys, but I was definitely a fan of all of it. Yeah.
200 Watts Video says Grunwald did 137 issues of Captain America. 137 issues. Thanks for the tip there. Appreciate it.
Well, there you go. 10 years.
Yeah. The most popular incarnation of G.I. Joe was the 1980s Real American Hero line, which simply oozed patriotism to a sometimes cartoonish degree, kind of like Mike Barron. Diving headfirst into this, he's not here, so we can make fun of him. Into this modern era could actually set the series apart, plus refrain from making the same mistake as the first live-action adaptation. Here's how making the G.I. Joe reboot an all-American extravaganza can put America's fighting force back at full staff. The first live-action G.I. Joe movie did away with a real American hero. You pussies, you disgusting, filthy worshippers of Moloch, you communists, you scumbags. He's a real American hero. That's the G.I. Joe. They are a real American. G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra was notably controversial for the decision to do away with the team's American roots. Instead, the movie recast G.I. Joe as an international military force, which drew the ire of many fans. It also saw familiar Joes such as Heavy Duty, traditionally the cousin of Jive Talkin' Joe member Roadblock, who probably did play basketball, John, and communications officer Breaker, recast as British and Moroccan, respectively. This, despite most of the other characters still being American. Given how poorly this concept was handled, many deemed the change unnecessary, along with potentially robbing the franchise of its identity.
Yeah, but the chick that played Scarlet was hot.
Oh, she's smoking. But Snake Eyes with the lips on his mask.
Oh, yeah.
It was so weird.
If they don't look like the Village people, I don't want to watch it.
Look at Scarlet. You can see nipple. Like, that's interesting.
Yeah, you can. She's
yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Jenko Morningstar says, with John Romita Sr. gone, I think the only master from the Silver Age left is Jim Steranko. Hopefully we can have him on the show someday. That'd be great.
I don't know if he would do it. I hung out with him the other night. Andy, were you with me when Steranko was there? We were hanging with him. And stuff? Oh, that was Sunday night. And he was with some really pretty young woman.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's about right.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Par for the course.
They left together.
We got Barry Windsor Smith too from the Silver Age. He's still with us.
Oh yeah.
Who else?
No, you got to say Smith is like the next generation, because he started out in the late '60s, early '70s, whereas Romita was back in the '50s.
Okay.
There's still Ramona Fraden.
Okay. She's still alive? Sweet.
Yep. And Larry Lieber.
Yeah.
Wow.
Roy Thomas. Was Roy Thomas considered Silver Age at all?
No.
Yeah.
He came in in the 70s, really early 70s.
No, Roy came in '64.
Did he really?
Oh yeah. He was the guy who stands right hand man.
But he wasn't writing anything, was he, until
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Nerds. Don't argue it.
All right. In the film, Duke and Ripcord are both referred to as real American heroes, but this is a mere gag, homaging the more traditional take on the property as a whole. Other examples include Breaker having a fondness for chewing gum, something which was synonymous with his character in the Marvel G.I. Joe comic series. Not sticking particularly close to the source material was one of the several reasons why the films never manifested into a larger Hasbro cinematic universe. Keep in mind that the original Real American Hero relaunch of the venerable toy franchise was very much of its era, with Ronald Reagan conservatism being a time period begging for such a franchise. Of course, that's now many decades past, but this same setup would actually benefit G.I. Joe in the modern day. Timothy Donahue, my friend.
Yeah.
You want to get a
about
drink?
Reagan?
You want to come smoke some cigars with us? Yeah.
Find out where he lives. Maybe he's gonna be in Jersey.
Come on, stalk him.
Maybe a blunt.
American patriotism can make G.I. Joe the next Top Gun Maverick. You think?
Depends on who's making it, because if they treat it like, like we were talking about earlier with the KRAVEN, where it's like they can go full cartoony, but you got to really embrace that and make it fun, or you go for broke and go for real, but you got to treat it real, like the way the Top Gun did. I don't know. I don't know what would be better,
Yeah, I like that they combine it or compare it to Top Gun. It's like G.I. Joe has outlasted Top Gun. It's probably a stronger franchise. Didn't it originate in the 60s?
Yeah,
that's a movie.
It's a toy.
everything
but
is going to be
just
referenced.
the concept and just the longevity of the concept. That's what 50
Yeah.
years or so.
Well, GI Joe was GI Joe was Barbie for boys back then. Like GI Joe didn't have an identity really until like the 80s, where they were all individuals with different looks. They were just soldier dolls with weapons and clothes and stuff like that. So you couldn't really make a GI Joe movie because who's GI Joe? In the 1960s.
Yeah, I was just arguing that it's they say, oh, like Top Gun Maverick, but I'm just arguing that GI Joe has success that goes probably beyond this. Maybe not right this very minute, but as far as longevity and sustainability.
Well, he was one of the first with lifelike hair and kung fu grip. So
if I was writing that new one, I'd have to make a 12-inch joke too. The original 12-inch men.
It may sound almost corny to attempt to bring back such a potentially jingoistic element of G.I. Joe, but it'd actually be more marketable than ever, given that the classic iteration released in an era of Rambo and Rocky IV, relaunched with the same mindset, would be far less generic in today's landscape. That's right, conservatism is cool again. Another aspect to think about is how being unabashedly American was part of what made 2022's Top Gun Maverick so successful. Many saw it as a return to form for Hollywood blockbusters, and the success wasn't just with local moviegoers. Delivering such feel-good movie experience is crucial to making the rebooted G.I. Joe into a success, especially with a generation that has no real cultural attachment to it. It also helps that the villainous terrorist organization Cobra is mostly apolitical, allowing the Joes to antagonize them without any sort of real-world implications that might prove potentially controversial. Make them Muslims. Make them
or Nazis.
Al Cobra. Al Cobra. Let me see. Likewise, the G.I. Joe team is notably diverse, featuring several characters from all manner of backgrounds and identities. That's cool. I'm not going to make fun of that. Thus, the movie can easily bring these Joes and to showcase how, no matter where an American may hail from across the country, they can come together with like-minded patriots and give the forces of evil a star-spangled smashing right cross. That's what we're doing right now. That's what
Star-spangled right cross. Heck yeah.
Strange that they talk about a generation that has no real cultural attachment to it, but they're passing the generation that was there in the 80s and the generation even before that, where we have a.
When did Jimmy get here?
I just came back quietly.
I've been here the whole time, man. Guys have been ignoring me.
Jimmy's back.
Jimmy snuck in the back door.
Like a cockroach.
He climbed through the window.
Like friend too. I came in like friend too. Just snuck in.
Happy to have you back. Now, part of this idea can be seen in the inner city everyman character Noah Diaz in Rise of the Beast. For as ridiculous and cartoonish as it can be taken, showing how everyday Americans can combat impossible action movie odds is a big part of why so many kids' toy boxes were full of Hasbro figures back in the 80s. If the new movie can successfully replicate this formula, Paramount could be pledging allegiance to major box office success, both domestically and abroad. Based.
Yep.
Based. I didn't know that there was a crossover with
So is Hollywood actually starting to realize they need to make money again? Is that what's happening? Is that what we're seeing?
I don't know, because Transformers really was a little bit of social justice warrior. The human casting, the Transformers movie that just came out. It's cool that they brought in the G.I. Joe universe, but the casting and the character stories were like nobody, just chop that, and we just want to see the Transformers doing cool robot stuff, because the human characters were pretty awful, to be honest. It was cool to have the G.I. Joe kind of crossover at the very end, but yeah.
It was no Ezra Miller, right, Rob?
Oh, no, it was not. No, it was not.
Hey, by the way, we got 1,400 and change people watching right now, but only 730 likes. Would it be too much? Would it be crazy to ask you guys to hit the thumbs up for me and just reach over there, hit that thumbs up. Doesn't cost you anything. It's really going to help the video. Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. We should be over 1,000 right now. It'd be really terrific if you guys would do that. Please smash that like. All right, let me read some super chats as well, and see what you guys are thinking. Most of it is their obscenities aimed at Jimmy. That's weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
No more Flash hate? I was getting lots of Flash hate.
H is for Heretic says Kirby referred to Thomas as House Roy. Jenko Morningstar says, I read that one. Let me see. If G.I. Joe was made back in the day, says Jegs Dino God, thanks for $5, it would have Bronson, Eastwood, John Wayne, wrestlers, Lee Marvin, McQueen, and wouldn't have a drop of bitch in it.
Wouldn't
be like the
Raquel
cast
Welch
of
be
the
in
Great
there?
Escape.
Yeah, wouldn't
That would be
Raquel
awesome.
Welch be?
Yeah.
She'd be Scarlet.
She wouldn't know, bitch.
Oh, Derek?
I just watched 1 Million Years BC the other week. Oh,
What was the name of the movie?
Cave Women Never Look So Good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Give me that
Welch
time
was in
machine.
Aaron. Aaron, what was the name of that movie?
1 Million Years BC. I know where you're going with this. Look, you're such a baby.
Interesting.
It's just
It's
a
just
game.
a game,
It's just a
Billy.
game,
It's just
Billy.
a game.
Are you referencing a 60s movie again, Lopez?
Yeah, Raquel Welch.
Oh my gosh, that Raquel Welch movie poster.
God. I watched it too because I hadn't seen it so long, and I forgot she was blonde in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
she was-
Golly.
all the cave women in that movie were hot, and then she walks out and just destroys them, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh man, the Stone Age. That's where I need to be."
What about Nova in Planet of the Apes? Linda Harrison.
Oh yeah, see,
Oh yeah,
she's my personal favorite.
Yeah, she was amazing.
Hey, real quick, shout out to Mandy Summers. It turns out she's in the hospital right now.
Oh no!
Mandy's in the ER.
that's
She's
not
been in
cool.
there for all day for what turned out to be a pinched nerve in her neck.
Oh,
She says, I can't even lift my arms and everything is pretty painful. Love y'all. Hope to be back at it in the next couple of days.
Wow.
We love you, Mandy.
Hope you feel better.
Well, glad they figured
yeah,
out what it
really,
is.
Mandy, get
Pinched
well.
nerve is ugh.
Yeah.
Does that hurt? I mean, it must hurt, right?
Yes.
Yes, I'll bring
Yeah.
Shelly in here. She'll tell you all about back
Really?
pain.
Yeah.
Oh boy. How do you get it? How do you get a pinched nerve?
Age.
Sleep wrong.
Yeah, you just wake up with it. I
Jack
get
up
it.
your spine somehow.
Yeah.
Really?
Not saying
Ugh.
how. Just
But
saying.
Scary.
I was lucky. I went to a chiropractor and they just like pop, snap, and there I was fine.
He was 6 inches taller.
Yeah, and I stood up. I was like, oh,
Hey, you're a giant.
I know 2 more inches and I'll break 5 foot.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 2 more inches and you'll break 3 inches.
200 Watt Studio says Kirby Jr. goes back billions of years when he talks about his dad's inspiration for Devil Dinosaur. Yeah. Jegs Dino God says this is just the newer woke generation of coward insulting a great American capitalist and smearing his name with lies like they've done with Walt Disney. Okay, let me see. This movie makes him his mom's killer, says Urashima Taru. That is correct. Haunted One, thanks for a $10 super sticker. Appreciate it. DJ2K says the movie makes fun of Ezra for half the movie. Also, Supergirl was kind of hot. If you say so, I thought she was extremely unappealing.
I thought she was hot too, to be honest.
Was it the short hair?
The suit? Well, the suit was like seemed
It's
like
not
it was
real
painted on.
I haven't
She
seen
doesn't
a
really have
picture
powers?
where she looks hot. Maybe in the movie she does, but every picture she looks angry and
yes,
kind of chubby and
yes.
Oh, really?
And she prefers the company of other women. I don't understand what you're. I personally don't find that attractive. When
They actually
women,
set that up in the movie.
Girl on girl.
She does.
No, she
John-
was angry because she was a prisoner.
John, be
Billy,
careful with
Billy,
that
look
knife,
what I
will ya?
got.
Be careful with that knife, John.
Oh yeah,
Remember, always
Great
credit
Red
towards
Scene
yourself.
packed that up. Nice.
Yeah, this came in the mail. It was sitting on my table for a couple of days, and my Faye came up and she's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Huh? I don't know." She brought it in. I'm like, she's like, "That's for you." I'm like, "Is it?" And
Billy sent you a king dong.
It's a foot long.
Oh, I got the thing stuffed in there.
Somebody sent you some smallpox.
Oh, the fire.
Oh, look at that cyber frog figure.
Art T. Bear got his frog. I'm jealous.
It's another one.
Yeah, I got mine.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
I love that
I want to
packaging.
see. No, is this a poster?
Oh yeah, look at there.
Yeah, we were in
Oh.
Athens, Greece, for the premiere. Of
Oh,
300.
cool. That's cool.
And
The writing guys.
And they had them at the theater, and and I shit, I'm gonna take some of these. So I took some, and I saw John. I know John, the big 300
Mhm.
fan. And
Yeah, I got that
I had
300
one in
right
my
there.
flat file, so I sent it to him. It's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, because that's actually what's on Billy's arm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for that, Billy. Appreciate that.
That's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Quarter
All right,
Jab
place of
Johnny.
honor for it.
Quarter Jab Johnny says James Gandolfini passed away 10 years ago today. Thought you
Yes.
might want a quick moment of silence for your boy, or play one of your little videos. I appreciate that tribute. James Gandolfini, great actor, portrayed one of the great heroes of the screen, Tony Soprano.
Tony Soprano.
Yeah, and really miss him. He was a great
This
guy.
sounds
and all
very
this,
gay.
all right, sir. I'll shut up. Rest in peace, though. Oh, what a great guy.
Did you guys also see that thing today? There's the Coast Guard's searching for a sub full of tourists who paid $250,000 each to see the Titanic, and the submarine suffered a catastrophic malfunction. They don't know if it's stuck on
How
it.
many? Did it hit an
Oh.
iceberg?
Oh, did it make
Too soon.
Yeah,
that can't be real, Billy.
Too
Can
soon.
it?
But they're
Art
going
remembers
down.
that.
Let's not all talk over each other. One at a time, please. Okay, go ahead.
It says the submersible used to take tourists 12,500 feet into the depths to view the wreckage of the Titanic. I think that's 1,200 feet. I don't think the Titanic.
No, 12,000.
Really, it is?
Yeah, because
really,
it's
super deep.
miles 5,000, so that's like 2.5 miles down, which is about right.
Wow. So so it says the submersible. I added in the private chat, Ethan.
Oh, okay.
But it's an 8-day expedition to see the wreckage of the famous ship. But it's
wow.
So what is it,
He's
like a
looking.
glass bottom? Something?
Well,
How are
cameras-
you going to see it?
I
Is
shared
this
it. I shared
Cameron's? Does
I
James
don't know.
Cameron
Maybe-
have anything to do with this?
It's called Ocean Gate.
Wow. It might be really
Called
close
the
up
Titanic,
to the Titanic.
submersible. It carries 5 people. And it's
Good news, bad news.
it's capable of diving to 4,000 meters, which is over 13,000 feet.
I got to check with my neighbor. My neighbor actually, he dives down and rescues stranded subs from the bottom of the ocean. So I want to find out if he got called for this, because he's also international. So so he gets calls and he'll fly to any place in the world, and he goes down in small submergibles. And he goes in and he rescues those people, like 1, 2, 3 at a time. He'll evacuate them from subs. And I was talking to him about comic books one day, and he's fascinated with what I'm doing. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, man? You get on these like cool subs and you see all this stuff
He's
and
a
everything.
real life
He's
G.I.
like,
Joe.
he's like, yeah, but you draw Superman. I'm like, shut up.
Does he captain the Nautilus? Or...
My neighbor drives downtown and rescues stranded pussy.
Woman rides home.
Does he have to pay for that to
Hey,
rescue?
wait, that's my neighbor.
Here we go. The breaking. The Coast Guard is searching for a sub full of tourists who paid $250,000 to see the Titanic and might be stuck in the ship's wreckage on the ocean floor. Well, you've seen it.
God.
Submersible used to take tourists 12,500 feet into the depths to view the wreckage of the Titanic has gone missing in the Atlantic. Wah, wah. The submersible is part of a fleet owned by OceanGate Expeditions, and no relation to COMICSGATE, which charges tourists $250,000 for an 8-day expedition to see the wreckage of the famous ship. I'll say that again. You didn't say it. You wrote it, sir. $250,000 to see the wreckage of the Titanic. I mean, that's quite a bit, considering you can grab a balloon flight to space for somewhere between $50,000 and $120,000. You're right. What a ripoff, sir. You a-hole. And if you're going to shell out that kind of money for things to go wrong, falling to your death from space sounds a whole lot more exhilarating than slowly asphyxiating in a tiny metal tube underwater.
Oh my God!
But that's just me. By the way, don't worry these people's families, sir. That shouldn't be a concern of yours.
I think they have 3 days worth of air though, so there's still a chance, a good chance that they can be rescued if they can find them.
Oh please, they're dead.
Wait,
reports
this
are
is from
indicating.
Wait, this is from Not the Bee though. Isn't that like Babylon Bee?
Yeah, the B is the real news. They link to the BBC story. It's all over the news.
This is real.
Yeah, it's all, it's real.
Reports are indicating that the sub could be stuck in the sunken ship's wreckage with only a few days of oxygen on board. That's great. OceanGate said in a press release, "We're exploring and mobilizing all options to bring the crew back safely. Our entire focus is on the crew members and the submersible and their families." One of the 5 crew members is reportedly British explorer Hamish Harding. "I am proud to finally announce that I joined OceanGate Expedition for their RMS Titanic mission as a mission specialist on the sub going down to the Titanic." Boy, this guy sounds like Krista McAuliffe to me. Rear Admiral John Mulger of the U.S. Coast Guard gave a press conference Monday afternoon, noting that the craft had lost contact on Sunday. "After receiving the call, we reached out to the vessel and began a surface search. At the same time, we launched a C-130 aircraft to conduct an aerial search." It's probably not going to be in the air, sir.
You might be looking in the wrong area.
Yeah. By the way, how cool is it that they're going to be getting SOS signals from the Titanic? I think that's fucking awesome.
Right.
You know,
how do they not have some sort of like tracer on this thing so they can constantly keep track of it?
Yeah, like a beacon.
Yeah.
Very strange. Yeah.
Mulger said the remote location and depth of the craft makes the search particularly difficult. He said the Coast Guard would be moving additional resources alongside the Canadian Coast Guard assets to search the area. Sonar buoys are being... John.
Buoys.
Oh, sonar buoys? I thought it was sonar boys.
Sonar boys. No, that's a new boy band.
They're being used to search the water column. Hey, I have an idea. How about if the Coast Guard pays OceanGate $250,000 to get in another submersible and go down?
Yeah, exactly.
Do they only have the one?
Yeah, they should be able to do it again. Mauger also said the sub had approximately 96 hours of oxygen as its launch this weekend, meaning there's likely less than 60 hours, 2.5 days of available air to the crew on board as of the time of this writing, much less if they're panicking, which they probably are because they're fucking underwater like in the Titanic, you know.
That means they're going to have to start killing each other off to save oxygen.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Dude,
You got a movie in this.
Lord of the Flies.
But I mean, you'd be underwater and you're strangling somebody. Would that be considered murder? I mean,
no, we would forgive them.
Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you use more oxygen to strangle that person?
Yeah.
than you would to save it when you kill
It'd be
them?
worth it.
That's right.
You got to do it. We'll be praying for their safe return. Yes, thoughts and prayers. Here's a video from OceanGate on their Titanic expedition. So there's actually a video here that's really creepy and sad. So we wish them well.
How do they get 8 people? I mean, for 8 days, they had 5 people in there for 8 days?
No, they're on a boat. They're on the ship.
No, the whole expedition is 8 days, not in the sub for
okay.
8
I was
days.
like, geez.
Yeah, these are little submersibles. They're not that big, so they launch from the boat, the ship themselves.
What did they say that the ship itself had was 90 hours total for oxygen? For
Yeah,
diving?
96.
James Cameron could find them.
Yeah. What's he doing?
He's been
out there right now.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, where are they? I don't know. They were going to go see the Titanic. Where's the Titanic? Go there and then work your way back, and they're probably somewhere in the proximity.
He's got an office there.
Well, didn't they say they got stuck in the wreckage? Maybe they were travel through.
Well,
the
then they
wreckage.
know where they are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, the currents, though, if it's not hooked up to it, it could be bouncing around a little out of power.
If they lost power.
Yeah, but what about communications? Like, why would your communications be down because you're stuck in wreckage?
That's my point. It's like,
Maybe they're on, like,
there's
auxiliary
a
power?
beacon or something going off that lets everybody know where they're at. That's just.
I think,
I think it's catastrophic. They're dead.
It's probably a power thing. Yeah. And if
Or
a
it's an
power
elaborate murder plot.
Ooh.
It's Godzilla. Godzilla took him out, ate him.
Well, sadly, this is probably going to add to the, the body count of that damn Titanic.
Oh,
What if the Meg got him?
It's a curse, right? Only
Oh,
the
the
Titanic
Meg, there
only
you
kills
go.
the rich.
Could be
you know?
something. Could
That's
be.
true.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I think Jimmy's onto something. It only kills the rich, the Titanic.
Yeah, they bought
Oh, a hell of a
one-way
lot,
tickets.
hell of a lot more poor people died on the Titanic than rich people.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
All right, I got debunked. Oh,
I just turned on Jimmy instantly. Yeah, Jimmy, stupid.
Hey,
Jeez.
Jimmy, remember when you paid $250,000 to take a ride on a cruise ship to see the Titanic, and it turned out that it was actually the Bitanic, and you were on a bisexual.
Oh my God,
that was
Is
awkward.
that Johnny Depp on the right hand side?
I call the caboose.
His brother
Barely sit
Ronnie.
down for a
Ronnie
week.
Depp.
Ronnie Depp.
Well,
What
they
is
look
that?
so happy on the movie poster too. Little do they know.
Well, wasn't the original Titanic the Bitanic just spelled B-Y-E? You know.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
See you later.
The tagline is, "When the Titanic goes down, so does she."
Oh boy.
And he.
Oh,
That's right.
What is
Yeah,
Bitanic?
he.
But I have to say, it was worth the 250,000.
Was it?
Respect the
Yeah,
pronouns.
my Titanic was incredible.
Jimmy was a sandwich.
Oh, God.
Oh,
He was like he was part of a Cuban.
You know, I know they're not dead yet, but I still want to say R.I.P. and God rest their souls. Is that discouraging?
No, they're dead. R.I.P.
They're dead, right? Pretty much dead. I don't know what they're gonna do.
How long have they been down there so far?
They said they've got like 2.5 days worth of air left.
I think since Sunday they've been.
Yes.
Yeah, they have 2.5 days of air.
What about heat? 2 miles down underwater is awful cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
I'm telling you, I'd just be in the corner rubbing one out. I'm going.
Someone's raping someone in there.
Yeah. Even if there's no women, one of those guys is like,
Well, the thing is, these things are so tiny; those guys can't even move, so they're just in a stationary
sitting ducks,
sitting position. Yeah, they can't go anywhere, do anything.
It's John Malin's Mars exploration all over.
We're right back
I
on
have the
Mars
pick
with
of the litter.
John.
They're like freelance artists; they're just stuck to the chair.
Switch seats with me. No.
Do you think that at what
Like
point do they just go, let's pop the hatch? Let's just.
Oh my God! And the pressure.
Let's
as soon
end it
as that
quick.
hatch gets popped.
Yeah, that's the one question I really have about that was they showed that sub and the entire front of it was like a big dome, and then there was another dome up top. But anytime I've seen any like Titanic stuff, it's like a window that's like that big.
Yeah.
So
you
I
saying
don't know
the
if
window's
that's the
cracked?
exact sub.
Here's Monster Mania with the update here. Hey, Monster Mania says the sub uses Elon's Starlink satellites to communicate. The last trip they did, they lost communication for 2 hours.
And they
That
went and did
sucks.
it again.
That's because some asshole hooked up to the Bluetooth and was playing Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On." Very funny asshole. Well, I'm worried. I'm definitely worried for them. I wish them well. The best of luck. Don't ever try to do anything. Can you imagine? What do you think they're thinking down there? They're thinking, I wish I hadn't have done this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I paid 250,000 for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, I wish I was John Malin is what they're thinking. They're like, I could have just stayed home, saved my money, and lived.
Randy
It's like
Howell's
those
got a
guys that
point.
spend
There's
all
no
that-
bathroom in that sub.
They were like,
Yeah, where are they going to poop?
I meant to put my.
In the mouths. You got to rehydrate.
Hours and go back.
Yeah, they're like, I shouldn't
What
have
they're
put that.
thinking is, I could have done this
250,000.
on Google Images for free.
Rehydrate. That's not how it works, John.
It's the
You
worst
guys-
time to have explosive diarrhea, too. And you got to apologize to everybody else there. It's like, oh, my
You
goodness.
guys
What?
got to put a.
Most
You
at
got to
least
put a.
with diarrhea, you don't have to chew it.
Ew. You got to put a positive spin on this. The positive spin is that they paid to be buried at the Titanic, so that's a good spin.
At sea.
Yeah, they all
Yeah,
had a
see,
death wish
Titanic.
anyways. Fuck them.
Well, the next tour is going to go. Hey, there's the guys. There's their sub. Yeah,
Like Everest, you know, they just leave the bodies frozen in Everest. They should do the same thing for people going to Titanic.
Yeah, but
good warning
Everest,
for the rest of them.
Everest, they're trying to get to somewhere, you know, like Titanic. They wanted to view a graveyard. Now they're
that is
viewing
true.
Yeah.
But you know what? James Cameron has a sequel now for the Titanic. So that's that's a good thing. Who knows? Aaron's going to be 6, says Bub 66. Poor Aaron. You're shocked by this.
I can't.
He's thinking of the poop.
No, I got that out of my mind. I was just
gross.
You know, it's like when they do movies like that and they never show anybody going to the bathroom. Every once in a while you go, where are they? Does anybody have to go to the bathroom? Where did they go if they had to go? And in this one, it's like,
there's got to
be.
You mean like the show 24?
Well, Lopez,
where
I
Kiefer never eats or goes to the bathroom?
Well, Lopez, I live in Texas and we have a lot of rivers and streams that we like to tube down. So I went tubing on 4th of July a couple of years back with a bunch of friends on tubes for 4 hours drinking. Everybody's just drinking 4 hours tubing. And then at the end of the ride, I realized at the end of the tubing, I realized not one of us got up to pee.
Yeah, you did. You all pissed.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Not one of us got out of the river to pee.
They didn't get up to pee.
Thank you for that story, Jimmy.
No one got out of the water to jerk off either.
Oh my
God! Jimmy sounds like one of those guys that pees in people's pools.
Immediately.
All right, when I get invitation to your pool, it looked beautiful. Your pool.
The
looks
problem
really
is
good.
when he pees in your pool, he stands on the ledge and pees from the,
everybody knows. Right?
Yeah.
Be honest about it.
Yeah. No, I was wondering about the insurance and the liability. You'd have to think that these people would have to sign waivers because who's going to insure something like that?
Yeah.
No one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
when you go parachuting, you know, you got to sign a waiver or
you sign
bungee
waivers for anything
jumping
like
or
that. You do a zip line, you have to sign a waiver.
Bane Mailer says there is no pee in the ool. You ever see that sign? There's
Yes.
no pee in the ool. Let's keep it that way.
Keep it that way.
Yeah.
Remember the old Creature from the Black Lagoon gag joke, right? Where he says, "Who peed in the pool?" Wasn't that what those monster trading cards, Graham, the black and white ones, and they had the jokes on them?
I don't remember that one.
Oh, really? They come in the gum with the gum set. They were all like Universal Monster cards, and it was like the Creature from the Black Lagoons in the water going, "Who peed in the pool?"
Jimmy has a sign that says there's no pee in the pool, but there is poo in the pool.
It happens. It happens.
We used to chronicle that on one of my live streams. There are people who actually deliberately go to public swimming pools in order to defecate and leave behind. They're called pool shitters. And
it's not just a
name. Wow.
Yeah, they're in Australia mostly. I don't know why it's happening all the time over there, but it is, and they've had to.
We know some Australians. I can imagine.
Yeah. Are we sure it wasn't a Snicker bar?
Is that like chumming for sharks or something?
No, they're Australian. I mean,
I think you use the Baby Ruth bar because it's a little lumpy.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
horrible. Remind me
this
never to go
is-
swimming next time I'm in Australia.
Don't go there. And also, Cornwall, which I think is in England. Is Cornwall?
Did you say
in England?
Cornwall?
Cornwall, yes, isn't it?
Yes.
That's in England. Okay, yeah. They
the
also
cornhole?
they've had similar problems over there. So we got to be concerned about them. Let me read you a news story. This will interest you guys. It's summertime. A mystery shitter has declared war on a Cornwall swimming pool.
Holy shit!
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. A sustained campaign of in-pool defecations could spell the end for a kid's disco. So this is going on. Somebody keeps shitting in a pool in Cornwall so hard that a weekly children's disco is in danger of being canceled. Let that sink in, so to speak. Someone shat repeatedly in a pool, so much so that a children's weekly disco has had to be canceled.
Well, good, because disco sucks.
And how do you stay anonymous? I mean, doesn't it follow
Yeah.
you, the trail? I mean,
I don't know how this works. I don't think they know either, but it's just Sometimes I think about what I have achieved in life. Very little on the whole, because my core skill is writing words, and any dumb goof can do that. And I think, yes, but has one of my turds ever stopped a party from happening? And the answer is no. The mystery foul-mouthed shitter can claim that boast, and the saddest thing is we'll probably never even know his name. As the Western Morning News reports, the Ships and Castles Leisure Center in Falmouth has been the target of a persistent logger, their words, who drops shits in the pool during the kids' water disco rave wave. Apparently the person or persons thinking about it could be an organized turd gang, has been waiting for the lights to dim, for the Calvin Harris album to come on shuffle, for the kids to start raving, and then just like doing a big floating jobby every week for weeks. It's getting so bad that the leisure firm behind the Center Tempest is considering canceling the weekly event. It seems a customer is purposely defecating in our center, the spokesperson said. Customer being one of the children aged between the 8 years and 14 years old attending the session. I would like to assure our customers this poses no health or safety risk to any other members of the public using our facility. Our water is treated by ultraviolet light, and we use chlorine as a further measure of disinfection. So this is all important. The guy goes on to really discuss, the problem of pool shitters. But it is.
So are they saying that when the lights go out, this guy strikes and then the party starts and there's a turd floating in the water?
It's like a murder mystery dinner.
Yeah, I know. It's like, why don't they set up some infrared cameras and see who's crapping in the pool when the lights go out?
Or they could just not turn the lights out.
Yeah, just keep the lights on.
That would help, The
Where's Columbo when you need him?
Somebody screams, they turn the lights on, and there it is floating in the water.
It's like a bad version of Clue,
Yeah, it's like Agatha Christie or something.
I just I don't understand people. I don't
either. Doesn't this guy have anything better to do? I mean, this is unbelievable.
Agatha Christie.
That would be so funny if it's all premeditated. He has it in a baggie, right? And he just kind of like
drops it in. No, the thrill of it is being in the middle of the crowd and taking a dump right there.
But does
Kelsey
Amber
profiling the guy right for us because Kelsey knows he's.
Does Amber Heard have an alibi?
He's right.
I know the nature of degeneracy. I know.
Oh, Billy, I'm so sorry.
Can you imagine trying to tread water and shit at the same time? With shorts on, that would not be easy.
Oh my
God! He does it in the deep end.
Well, here are some super chats here. We got to read these. Jegs Dino God says, new Titanic film is truly sinking at the box office. 200 Watts Studio says, I would be
too soon.
Titanicking. Oh, that's good. Titanic. That'd be a good name for the movie. God, the Titanic.
Jeez.
7YXX times 7XX says soon the sunken sub with all the dead people will be a part of the attraction. J Bomba fan said those sub people knew the risk, right, Malin? They knew.
Yep, absolutely.
Tommy Review says had to reorder for your Dark Harvest campaign due to payment not going through and lost my chance of your $25 Cyberfrog 90s fig. Any help, Uncle E? Yes. So what I did was I went over and I turned it back on. So for about 1 hour, you can go over there to the Cyberfrog Dark Harvest campaign. And if you want to, you can grab any one of these perks here. Go here, get this perk. And down at the bottom, you will see that I put the discount 90 Cyberfrog figure back up just for 1 hour. So you can go grab it. And I'm sorry about that. I'm going to take it back again. So thank you very much for that. All right, let me see. Where were we? Over here. Okay. Super chats, yes. James Gandolfini. Kirby read that racist comment. Most of these are racist. This is just the newer woke generation of coward insulting. Okay, I read that one. Look up Indy 5 mileage TV spot, CG Indy, and then a vomit there from Richard Cahill. I'll look at that. J Bomba Fan says, you guys are monsters. Cars in Depth says, killing squirrels. Harming animals is a symptom of sociopaths. I know, but I don't care because I'm a sociopath. Daniel says, director of John Wick says they use digital blood and muscle. Okay, read that one. Beard ties don't work. No one bought me a golf cart, says Camel Moon. DJ 2K says the movie makes fun of Ezra for half the movie. Also, Supergirl was kind of hot. Gold Arrow Comics for $10 says, hello, please check out our new trailers when you can. And thanks again for everything. That's Gold Arrow Comics on Indiegogo. Alex VRB says KRAVEN was bitten by a gadioactive lion. Urashima Taru says the lion had rabies, so he has super rabies. Michael Rushbrook says, Andy, just back Cordrath, looking forward to it.
Nice. Thank you.
Nice. Wondering COMICSGATE King, Marduk Knight says, hail all, special thanks to you all. Zaid Comics is here. He says, hail CG, hope you all had a great Father's Day and weekend. I've been in Kentucky. What did I miss? Oh, Phil. Also, hope you all back the Lost Pages 3, almost a 40K. P Count says, when you see Fraga, ask him where our book is. Okay. Alex VRB says, hashtag Tucci broke them. Read these. Got a nice $50 super chat from Steve Roberts, who has given up on Anna now that she's getting married. What do you think of that, John? Did you know Anna was getting married?
I just saw it. I didn't know if people were talking about it. So,
I didn't know either.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Kelsey. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Well, he's got Kirby's granddaughter lined up, though. So.
yeah. I got a new one in the bag. Don't worry.
That is
kind of they're finally hitching up. That's good. They've been hiding it long enough.
FK322 says, what's the topic of discussion? Gay swooper man? Thank you. Lonely Wolf Studio says, add Rini doing the jumping jacks to the intro. Oh, if somebody wants to do that. Yeah, if somebody wants to make a Rini jumping jacks intro, that'd be great. Lieutenant Hughes says, making sweet love to the chat don't make us blush. Ron Martin says, is CG accepting PTP's resignation? That was a rough spot this weekend. Damas says, hail COMICSGATE Kings chat and Swooper and Chief EVS rock on. Travis Park says, bust a move, Rob. NJ Bomba fan says, I feel like I'm in a skating rink. Tom Tuttle says, COMICSGATE. No other word will do. Hail.
Hey.
Beautiful. I think I read them all now. Fantastic. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me here. It's been 3.5 hours, which is I've taken enough of your time, and I appreciate you. Everyone, I want to remind you, today's COMICSGATE books that I would like you to back are Cordrath by Andy Smith. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you're watching this later as a repeat, or if you're watching it right now, do me a favor, do Andy Smith a favor, and oh, thank you, a bunch of you did. Back his comic book, and let's get this comic book to 6 figures. The other campaign that I want to promote tonight is Aaron Lepresti's Wraith of God Blood Hunters.
Thank you, sir.
Only because Aaron deserves to beat Rini, if possible.
Yes, thank you.
His campaign is
and
still
not
open.
the typical way Aaron beats women, but monetarily this time.
Back to Wraith of God Blood Hunters right
Thank you
now,
all.
or
Appreciate it.
if you're watching this as a repeat, you can still back Aaron Lepresti's Wraith of God Blood Hunters and also Cordrath The Reckoning. What can I say? Hail to COMICSGATE. Hail to all of you kings.
And check the
It's
action
an honor
figures out.
being up here with you
Cyber
guys.
Frog. Look at these.
Beautiful.
Badass.
Beautiful. Graham Nolan, I'm going to see you, and I'm going to see Billy. I'm going to see Andy. I'm going to see Frega, and I hope I'm going to see a lot of people in the chat this weekend at Garden State Comic Fest in Morristown, New Jersey. I will be set up there. I will have 2 tables, I think. Very nice of them.
Yeah.
And I will be selling Cyberfrog Comics merch. I will have the PVC toys if you would like to pick up a PVC toy autographed. And I will have as much stuff as I can fit into my van. So I hope that you guys will stop by, say hello to all of us, and we'll
hang out with us Saturday night at for the Cigar Fest.
Bring a cigar.
Hawaiian shirt, baby.
I want lots of photos and
Hawaiian
videos.
shirts.
Not all of us can go. I want lots of documentation.
All right.
And your own booze. Bring
Yes.
your own booze.
Yeah, no, we'll just drink Billy's.
Yeah, no.
Are we going out for big steaks or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna send I'm gonna send the thing for our dinner meeting. I'm taking care of it. It's all taken care of.
Oh, Ethan, real quick, can you just pull up my screen? I brought this
Yes,
up when
sir.
it came up, so it's a little untimed.
Oh.
But there you go. Was that the one you were talking about, Aaron?
No, but that's the joke. Though.
That's
Okay.
It's not the,
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again next week for COMICSGATE Kings. John, are you doing postcasts?
there it is.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Post
Okay.
games, guys, over on my channel.
All right,
Night,
everybody.
guys.
Have a great night.
night,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Between the girls and the jewelry, the devil try and lure me. If you or me, Jesus walks with me. My pastor shaking his head, he ain't sure me, but surely. Then he asked, do you say your prayers at least 2 a week? I ain't talking to God, I know what I've been doing, G. Do you know how I'd be embarrassed? My prayers sound like Ben Stiller's on Meet the Parents. The good life. But only I could come up with some shit like this. Puff, puff, they say going crazy, and we've seen this before. But I'm doing pretty good as far as geniuses go. And I'm doing pretty hood in my pink polo. Nigga, please, how you gonna say I ain't no low head?
It's because of what happened to your mom and dad that you're telling these lies. You're told the worst kind of a lie there is, maybe. The lie of self-deception.
Sorry.
Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail.
Hey!
Noble kings and princes would bow whenever they came.
I'ma touch the sky.
Pirate ships would lower their flags when Puff roared.
I'm going on an aeroplane.
The magic dragon lived by the sea.
The good life.
And frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called
And now they're making Ghostbusters with only women. What's going on?